The time machine is set back to the 1980s. Big hair, bigger shoulder pads. And then crack cocaine crashes the party. It was fast, cheap, and devastating. The 80s worst party crasher. Small bags, big body count. Crack leveled entire blocks. But for women, black women, poor women, let's just say the ground fell out even faster. It was a trapdoor straight to hell. Choices vanished faster than paychecks. Need cash for that next hit? Grandma TV already gone. Kids' shoes won't pawn, so what's left? With that question heavy on them, some turn to the oldest profession in the book, and society dropped the labels: addict, criminal, disposable. Like that's the whole story. Forgotten daughter, forgotten mother, forgotten human. But there was double standards to this. Guys smoking the same rock, just dudes dealing with stuff. Rough Tuesday, right? These same dudes looked at these women like they knew. Women that shared a pipe and saw something else. Prey, disposable, and easy. How does a guy strung out flipped into a predator? Simple. When everyone already thinks your victim is worthless, killing her, that's basically consequence free. Her killer, he's a ghost. Walks right past everyone. Cops, neighbors, the whole damn world. Because who raises a fuss over trash? Today on the Black Docket, we're tearing into the Maury Travis story, but not just him. We're exposing the rotten system that served women to him on a platter. So I asked, why do we call it a mistake when a man screws up, but calls it a moral failure when a woman does what she does to survive? Why is a male addict just troubled, but a female addict suddenly disposable? And why do some victims dominate the headlines while others get erased like they never mattered? Stick with me. We'll be connecting the dots between a killer, a crack pipe, and a culture that looked the other way. It's going to piss you off. I can promise you that.
All rise. We are now on the Black Docket.
Hey, 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 party people. Welcome back to the Black Docket.
Howdy. I came to crash the party.
Yes, party crasher. I got to ask you my weekly handy dandy question of the week.
Okay.
Do you know this story?
No, I don't. This specific guy story, no. The crack cocaine and crack?
Why you say it like that?
The crack? Yeah,
Yes.
I know about that.
Okay.
I know about that. I've
Well,
seen its consequences on different age groups. It's very devastating.
yes, sir.
Hopefully the people can hear me. I hope they can
I
hear
mean,
me.
last week they said that they could hear you.
Okay.
So I
Cuz
think they can hear you.
I don't know. It feels like I'm yelling.
You're not yelling.
Huh.
Like
I'm just
a 5 yell or a 10 yell?
I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's all the same to me. A yell is a yell. Why are you yelling?
You're absolutely not yelling.
But it feels like that.
No, sir.
Okay.
So you should start yelling. Maybe then people will be able to hear you just all the time, just walking around yelling to yourself. Like a
Okay.
yell to
Oh,
yourself.
okay. Okay. Because I was gonna tell you, if I walked around yelling, that would add another strike to me or another bullseye.
Should be an angry black man.
Man, we don't need that.
Nah, in yourself. Yell to yourself.
Okay.
But let's get into it. To understand the monster, now his name is Maury Travis. I feel like eventually I'm gonna start calling him Maury just because the country in me. So just know I'm talking about the same person.
Okay.
All right. To understand the monster Maury Travis became, we start with the boy he was. Born October 25th, 1965, in St. Louis, Missouri, a city brutally divided by Delmar Boulevard. South of that line, tree lined streets, thriving businesses, white families building futures to pass down to their children. On the north side of that same street, the crumbling Car Square public housing complex where Travis spent his childhood. These projects, no mistake, they were designed as human storage, shoving poor black families into concrete buildings after so-called renewal programs raised their communities.
Mm.
Picture Travis as a child there in the early 70s. Hallways reeking of ammonia and mildew, elevators stranded between floors, rusted shit, playgrounds littered with broken glass, used heroin needles, and abandoned appliances, not toys. A world already crumbling by design. After Carr Square, his family landed in Ferguson, still north of Delmar's divided line. But on that side, neighbors called him painfully polite. They said he mowed lawns in dead silence, returning tools with a robotic, yes, sir, hauling garbage cans without breaking a sweat. Nobody ever asked him to do any of these things. So he would just get out and do it. But here's what curdled blood. One time in a gym class, a classmate shattered his arm and that damn Travis just watched. He didn't flinch. There wasn't any concern. Eyes empty, just staring into the boy that's screaming.
Mm.
I'm telling y'all, them people who that watch stuff like that, y'all need to watch them kids. Put y'all eyes on y'all kids. If y'all, what's the other one they be saying? He was inconspicuous. I didn't watch them.
Mhm. Okay.
Them the ones. And that I'm telling you, somebody should knew something was wrong with him right then and right there. Moving in silence. Just who finna get up on any good day and say, I'm just finna go mow some grass, take some trash. He was crazy. And he knew he was
Okay.
crazy.
Right.
The signs were missed. Signs were missed. Can we agree
Mhm.
that signs was missed?
No, we can't, cause I don't know yet. Cause I'll get up and do that for myself.
No, for your neighbors, people that you don't even
Nah,
know.
nah, fuck them niggas.
Signs were missed. So,
Respectfully.
huh?
Respectfully.
Travis drifted through high school like static on a TV screen, present but blank. The facts of his early life are bleak, to say the least. He graduated from Hazelwood East in 1985 at 20 years old. So that means he got kept back 2 times.
Damn.
Getting kept back once is bad. But goddamn, 2 times at that point, my boy, you should have just called it a wrap. 20?
Damn.
You hearing dun 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 at 20?
In high school.
At high school. Niggas is graduating college at 20.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. 20
20 is crazy.
20 is like your associates.
20
Yeah,
is
20 is your associates. If you're
20 is
going to 18.
20 is crazy, and you getting your high school diploma.
Hey, at least he got it. So
Okay, that's true. Zero yearbook photos except the mandatory senior photo that he took 3, 4, 5 times because he was a senior for a whole bunch of times. There was no clubs, no sports, no activities, nothing. He was just there. He was just going to school because you got to go to school.
okay.
Teachers noted minimal peer interaction in his file. So that means he literally was just going to school to go to school. You ain't even have no friends, my nigga. A classmate of his named Derek Mills once said he wasn't bullied, but he wasn't liked. He was just ignored. Like niggas saw him and just kept it pushing. Oh, that's Maury. We just going, all right. You know what I'm saying? We whatever. We don't even care enough to bully you. You just here. They say every single day at lunch he sat by himself.
And nobody tried to talk to him.
That's a different type of solitude. I ain't never. If he wasn't such a devil, I would say he should have went and been a monk. You don't care to make friends, like, but he also was 2 years older than everybody, so he probably didn't want to talk about what they was talking about. So I can see that too.
True, true.
When the bell rung on graduation day, Travis collected his diploma, walked out by himself, and left no trace in anyone's memory that he ever was at Hazelwood East. My notes literally say, I told y'all last week, these inconspicuous niggas you gotta watch. They be the ones, man. They be the ones. They be the ones, man.
I'm still on the edge with the inconspicuous because I'm trying to create the profile
Of
of
what
what it yeah what an inconspicuous person would be.
just somebody that just don't do much. They don't leave any type of impression. They are just there. You go to a place, you don't speak to. You walk in, you don't say hey to nobody. You just come in, sit down, look straight ahead.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, see. Okay, I need more color to the
You
picture.
you you at school, everybody saying good morning,
Yeah.
you just there.
Yeah,
Turn in your
that's
work, your teacher trying to
yeah.
engage with you, you just there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's kind of suspect. That's
Yes.
suspect.
Yes.
See, I don't term that inconspicuous.
What do you term that?
Suspect. Suspicious.
I mean, it's that too, but It's
Because
also
inconspicuous is just out the way. Suspicious is you are having suspicious behavior that is alarming me. I am alarmed by that.
but yes, that's in high school, but if you take that out into the real world and he go to the club and he just standing there, that's
I'm
inconspicuous.
even more alarmed. You're very suspicious. Yo, what's up with homie over there? He just in the club standing there just looking,
Yeah,
not talking to the girls, not talking to anyone, not
yeah,
the bartender, nobody. Yo,
yes.
something's up with him.
But off the top of my head, I know I've said that about 4 people so far.
And then I think back when I hear these stories to my school years, like, okay, who's the one that could have been?
One thing for certain and two things for sure. I can off this air, I can give you first and last names of every nigga I ever been around that I thought was
Damn.
inconspicuous because I have been doing like entertaining these type of things for all of my life. You get around me and don't say no 2 words. Oh baby, I am watching you because I don't trust you.
Mm.
My my serial killer antenna is up on you, brother. Mm-mm. You won't get me. For old Maury Travis in 1987, he decided he wanted to do something and be something with himself. Amen to that. So he decided he was going to go 600 miles away to the south, to the mecca of black Hollywood. Get down, shake it, jiggy, do your thing.
One of my favorites.
He went to Atlanta. He then enrolled in the Morris Brown College for computer science. Y'all know my saying. Congratulations to Morris Brown getting their accreditation back. A lovely, lovely HBCU. It's 107. Choose one. Morris Brown is one of the ones you could choose. Nice campus. Great area. You'll be in the AUC. You got the lovely ladies of Spelman, the wonderful brothers of Morehouse, the co-ed of CAU. Give Morris Brown a shot.
HBCUs are fire. They just fly. Man, I always think I have moments where I think, what if I would have went to a HBCU?
Yeah.
All this at a HBCU.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It was a time. It was a time. On paper, it was a fresh start for Maury Travis. You know what I'm saying? He not in St. Louis. He going to college. He a little older than everybody, but that's the beauty of college. Ain't nobody going
Mhm.
around saying what grade you went, how old you is it shit. We here.
Yeah.
I take Rajiv Patel science that I don't understand shit he's saying at 12 o'clock. Who you got? It's the beauty. And because he was in the AUC, he was right by the West End. He was right by downtown. He was right
So he
by
fit
the
right in.
bluff. He's right amongst his people. And it's not like where he came from in Missouri where everybody was struggling.
Mhm.
It's how we got houses, we got, you know what I'm saying? We got land, we got cars. So it was a great place for him to be, to not be inconspicuous.
Mhm. Okay.
Atlanta in 1987, though, was crack's ground zero. And Morris Brown sat directly in his crosshair. So for all of them things that I said was great, you go outside them gates, it's a whole nother world, baby.
Yeah, it is.
Travis arrived chasing a computer science degree. He ain't last long. He only was able to make it for 4 months.
Damn.
His school record was stamped with withdrawn academic failure. His dorm room RA, a smooth killer cat named Marcus Green, said he once found Maury Travis twitching in a stairwell, eyes wide, muttering about coding and reeking of crack smoke. Come to find out, Travis was out there buying $5 crack rocks weekly in the bluff. Just another student swallowed up by that epidemic. Now, fun fact, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to Atlanta, I got a lot of fun facts, right?
Okay. Let's hear this.
So around this time, 1987 to be specific, I wasn't on this God Green's earth, but luckily for me, I had a mama that was outside. You feel me?
Yes, she was. Shout out to her.
So she said Bill Cosby, right along with Maury Travis, parents, he sent his daughter to go to Spelman. She was in them
Fine
same
school.
she
Fine school.
she
Mm.
was in them same gates that Maury Travis was in, the same HBCU, the same in the same proximity, probably even more because your daddy, 1987, Bill Cosby was that nigga.
Mhm.
She
He
came from
was.
money. Come to find out, sister got hooked on that crack cocaine.
Damn.
He would like physically come to Atlanta, go to like the bandos, kick the door down, himself, the Bill Cosby, drag her out the house, put her in rehab. Shawty would get out and go right back to where the fuck she was
Damn.
at. Like, I don't know if people really follow Bill Cosby, but he has a really deep-seated hate for Atlanta. He can't fucking stand Atlanta.
Damn.
Let him tell it. Ain't no black Mecca, black Hollywood in Atlanta. They ain't nothing but some crackhead hoes. And got my like
God damn.
he
But I understand. He
he
can't take it out on the whole city though.
man, he vocally hate Atlanta. He don't think it's shit good coming out of Atlanta.
Nah, man.
He don't like it. He don't like it. He would like just come in there and just send people there all the time, just looking for. I'll pay you X amount of money to not sell something.
Yeah, that's not controlling anything. But that's not stopping
That's
anything
not
either.
because you gonna pay that. She gonna leave, come back again, and she gonna have unlimited wealth of money.
Or she'll just go to someone else.
Hello. So yeah, that, and if in all of this was happening in the Bluff in the West End. So if anybody needs a description, a visual presentation of what the Bluff looked like, it is a documentary movie skit show called Snow in the Bluff.
Yes, my boy Curtis Snow.
That is about as close to what the Bluff was that you're gonna get. So go watch it. Snow in the Bluff. My sister is actually in Snow in the Bluff. Hit me on the socials. We can talk about it.
It's
But
it's actually a captivating movie. It truly is. Before I touched Atlanta, I was watching that. And I was just captivated. Like, wow, this is really.
yeah,
But then when I actually was in the neighborhoods, it doesn't look the same.
it looked the same. It don't feel the same.
Okay.
It don't feel the same.
It
But
feels it feels gentrified. It feel like something else is there that's
yeah,
not supposed to be there.
yeah. Snow in the Bluff, you guys. Snow in the Bluff.
Mm,
But post Atlanta, so you know what I'm saying, he done smoked his way through school. He can't be there no more. Ain't no more school to go to. He got to figure it out. So after that, he decided to do what all angry niggas that need money do. He enlisted in the Army Reserves in 1989. He trained as a medical specialist. Why are you laughing?
that was a crazy description. That was crazy. Go ahead, man. Don't let me interrupt you. Pardon.
Records show that he was a soldier through and through, clinically precise during trauma drills, once suturing an unconscious recruit without anesthesia. They asked this crazy fool why he did that. He shrugged and said, "Pain management is not my job." Again, right then, people was missing signs that this
Yeah.
something was off in this man's head.
Yeah.
The signs were missed. We are missing signs. But it's the army. It's the federation of crazy niggas. They just said, okay, yeah, you right, and live to say another chant and march another day because they did not care.
They said they looked at him and they knew right there that man had potential in their eyes.
Yeah, that's exactly what they saw. So he was a great combat recruit, army member. I don't even know what you called him, but he was good in the army.
Okay.
But off duty, he was a thief. He was in them people service stealing IV morphine.
Well, he couldn't get the rock.
He also went to medical so he could steal the drugs. So yeah, pain management ain't your problem because you in there taking all the pain medicine.
Listen, we taking it to another level, baby.
You have to be a different type of addict to be trying to get IV level drugs.
I like his aspirations though. I'm too good for this crack cocaine. I need something better. Let me enlist in the army to get morphine. Endless supply. That's high level thinking right there.
Yeah, high, like smoke rock, get high level thinking.
That's
You are
high
so
level thinking.
you are right. That is high level thinking. He got investigated for drug ties. So during his time in the army, that sharpened his skills, but it couldn't fix what was already broken inside of him. Ain't that much structure to stop somebody from smoking crack that wanted to have a crack attack.
Crack attack is crazy.
Behind every fracture line stood his family. In 1978, when Maury was only 13 years old, his parents got a divorce. And it was straight and to the point. When no courtroom drama, no custody handoffs at the local church's chicken, just the silent shattering. Michael Travis, the daddy who was once the breadwinner, he went ghost. Fuck you and fuck them kids and you, Miss Lady.
Damn.
He vanished so completely that not even a child support check surfaced in county records. He didn't give a damn. He
God.
left everybody. I'm leaving
Mm.
you and the kids. The kid. I'm leaving you and the kid. I feel like and this was nowhere in my research. This is nowhere in the story. This is just me coming off the dome. I think that man left because he knew something was wrong with that boy. I think that man,
Possibly.
when you leave like that and you say fuck the kid, I think he knew something was wrong with that boy and that mama didn't want to see it or didn't care to see it. But I think that's why that man left like that.
Yeah, but you can't just do that. You got
If
to figure
you
something out.
know your child is, hey man, if I'm saying something is wrong with this kid and Kendall is saying, example, if the kid is killing animals, I see the kid fucking kick the cat, kill the cat. If I come to you and say, "Hey, we need to put this kid somewhere," and you like, "Nah, that's okay. I used to kick animals when I was a kid. It's okay. Fuck the animals." I'm not saying that you did, but I'm just
No,
like,
no, no. Go ahead, because I got my response ready.
like,
Let me tell you what we doing. You need to put both of us in the hospital, okay? Both of us.
yeah, like, but and then if you look the other way, like, no, that's not. That's just what kids do. No, that's a problem.
That's a big
That's a
problem.
problem.
That's what Michael Myers used to do.
That's what most serial killers do. They start with animals. So all I'm saying is I think that man knew something and the mama was protecting
Mm.
him. And speaking of the mama, her name was Sandra. She became a survivor. She did what everybody did, okay? Daddy's maybe, what is it? Mama's baby's daddy maybe. She did what she had to do. By the late 80s, she scrapped together enough to buy a two-family flat in North St. Louis, a boxy brick building with peeling paint and a drafty window. She became a small time landlord in the neighborhood where she collected rent and cash from tenants working double shifts, pleaded with the city to fix boilers they ignored for years. But she also lived paycheck to paycheck while the bank calls her an investment owner. All of this unfolding in the shadows of St. Louis's engineered segregation. Delmar Boulevard wasn't just a street, it was a barricade. Bank denied loans on the north side for decades because of redlining, which ensured black families couldn't buy homes or build wealth. The schools crumbled. Police patrolled but rarely protected. When heroin hit in the 70s, it flooded these abandoned blocks. Rehabs, just two underfunded clinics for 500,000 people. Travis didn't just grow up here, he absorbed its cruel conclusions. Some lives mattered, some vanishings go unmonitored, and just imagine what that looked like when that first crack pack hit the streets. Yeah, this park of Del Mar looked like zombie land. He was in a crazy spiral, and it went a little bit like this. In Atlanta, Travis was not dabbling, he was full fledged free falling, tooting and shooting every single last day. By winter 1987, he was hooked hard. Every single last red dime and penny he had to his name went to that pipe. 300 bucks a day.
God
Every
damn.
damn day. That's rent, that's food, that's tuition, gone up in smoke. He was smoking literally everything he had. Now, crackhead math is something crazy to me, right? $300 a day is $9,000 a month. A $9,000 a month habit. It is people right now in here in our Lord year 2025 that don't make $9,000 in a month. But you can find $9,000. He was only there for 4 months though. So I guess that's really not. If he got a
I
refund check, all the money he went to school with, I mean, I guess.
I hear everything you're saying, and the only thing that I am trying to figure out in my mind is how much crack was he buying per purchase? Because let's just say he buying dimes? What is he
I don't know crack
quarters?
math.
What is he buying to
But
spend 300?
unless he going 100, let me get 100. If he was spending it hundreds, he went 3 times a day. But if he was going 20,
Okay, morning, noon, night.
hey man,
Okay.
all I'm saying is I need to get me some type of hustle. That's come on, man. $9,000 a month in the 80s when you could live off $500 a month.
Mm.
I knew his dealer was in the bluff living large and taking charge. I know he made somebody a happy crack dealer them 4 months. Now we're gonna zoom out. That same year, Washington passes the 1986 Anti-Drug Abuse Act. Here's the math on that. That doomed a whole generation. Get caught with 500 grams of cocaine powder, coke, a 5-year sentence. I said 500, by the way. On the flip side of that, you get caught with 5 grams of crack, the same 5 years.
Well, that's because you wouldn't catch a certain group of individuals with 5 grams of crack, but they may have 500 grams of cocaine on them.
It's not science. It was not safety. It was racist. It was racist math. They were being racist. Right. I said this to you earlier. Race is cooked into everything about this country. That math is racist.
Very.
I had to go look at what 500 grams of cocaine powder look like.
What it look like?
And no, it's bricks. That's a brick.
All white bricks.
Nobody is
Off
walking
white
around with
bricks.
I mean, I'm not saying that they not. Maybe the dealer, but you're not gonna catch a large amount of people with 500 grams of powder on them, as opposed to 5 grams of. It's racist. It's racist. Crack hit the black neighborhood first, so Congress made it 100 times deadlier in the courtroom
Of
because they knew
course.
what they was doing. Because racism is cooked into the
Of
foundation
course.
of this country.
We are aiming. We want a specific group, and
Come
we are
on,
going to
man.
tighten these
Come
laws
on,
that
man.
target this
And
specific
and
group.
let me just give y'all this. Let me just say this. When I was doing my research for this case, I only came across one set of like podcasters that talked about this case, and they was white. And I'm not saying we have a conglomerate or a ownership to the crack era struggle, but I don't like hearing white people talk about what crack did in the 80s.
At all.
Talk about the fucking opioids and them. If y'all can talk about fentanyl right now, don't be a white podcast and talk about crack in the 80s if you weren't there, because all you gonna give me is bullshit that y'all know in 2025 after y'all done did the science. You don't know nobody that was out there bit down on them fucking streets. You don't have no crack baby cousins that you grew up with knowing that they was different. So I feel like I'm about to
I
cry.
implore you.
I fucking hate when they sit on front of these mics and talk about the crack era. Like I absolutely don't like it.
Well, luckily, here at this platform, we take Black Americans' historic catastrophes,
Yes.
atrocities,
Yes.
very serious.
Absolutely.
We hold them in
Yes.
high regard.
I do.
Just how people
We do.
hold the Jays in that situation over there, you're gonna give the same amount of respect and higher over here for our situation.
Absolutely.
And if you were a perpetrator or from the lineage of a perpetrator, you cannot tell the story.
Yeah. And in this, and I be so passionate about it because I wish people understood that they tried to exterminate us with a lethal fucking chemical. They went in a lab and made a chemical to try to wipe us off the face of this country, when first and foremost, bitch, y'all went and got us. We didn't ask to be here. That's first. But they made a chemical agent, they made it a drug, they dropped it in the neighborhood, and then they prosecuted on both ends of the spectrum. They prosecuted the user, but then they also prosecuted the dealer, which also pisses me off. Like you and I feel like I'm so passionate about the crack era because it was a equation that was bound to fail for every fucking body. Everybody that was involved, you was bound to fail
Hmm.
on both ends of the spectrum. There was no win.
There was a win for the government.
It didn't work though. It was a win for the government, but what they intended, it did not work. And when it comes to people that are like crack babies or people that was once on crack and they got clean, those type of people get the most respect from me because you are looking at somebody that an entire country tried to literally neutralize and they beat that shit.
Every time.
They beat that shit. So like, I know people be. My mom used to be on crack. She used to be stealing. If you got a parent, a auntie, a uncle, a brother, a sister, a cousin that beat that shit right now, I'm not saying you got to forgive and forget for what they did. But if they beat it and they clean, you got to show them some respect, dog.
Yeah.
You got to show them some respect because I don't believe that nobody went out in the 80s and sought crack like that. Shit just, if it's everywhere and they are giving it to you like that, it was bound to happen.
We got to call it what it is.
It was bound to
It was
happen.
domestic terrorism.
It was most definitely domestic terrorism.
And the same respect we give to our Vietnam veterans,
Yes.
those crack survivors,
Yes.
they deserve the same
Yeah.
respect because
Yeah.
that was war.
Yeah. It was most definitely war, and we won. Like everything else we doing is bullshit ass country. We won. So all them 80s, 90s crackheads, they get my respect. Now these new ones, anybody that got hooked on crack in the 2010s and beyond, you don't get no fucking sympathy from me because you knew what the fuck was going on.
Okay.
I'm talking about actual crackhead. If somebody was born after 2010, and they are strung out on crack.
Man, things happen, I guess.
Listen, listen. I
Things happen.
All I'm
I
saying
don't know the
is,
things that happen, but
listen.
things happen.
All right, we're gonna get back to Maury Travis. So in March, he came home back to St. Louis on spring break. Over eight, mind you, on this spring break, he is a bona fide certified geek monster. For anybody that does not know, a geek monster is a crackhead. Geek, like geeked up, and monster because
Okay. Atlanta sling.
yes. So he was a geek monster. Over 8 days, he robbed 5 shoe stores. His MO, a dime store pistol, a low and rumbling empty the register now. He scooped out the cash, put it in his pocket. In these people establishments smelling like hot crack smoke,
Mm, that's strong.
he did 5 of them in 8 days. 5 armed robberies, which equal to 5 felonies. The summer of 1989, the courtroom air was thick with sweat and hopelessness. Missouri law demanded 3 years per robbery. No parole, no mercy. The
Mm.
judge stacked them 15 years, my boy. He called it deterrence. He said if you was in jail for 15 years, then maybe you can't go out there and do no foolery. On the first offense,
Oh,
I don't know if I
okay.
necessarily. And I'm saying, like, I get it. He was a geek monster. He was a crackhead. We high on the war on drugs, but I don't know if. See, it was armed robbery, so I don't know. I was thinking 15 years was a little steep, and Maury Travis don't get no compassion from me, but 15 years with a toy gun
And you're an addict.
and you an addict, that you know what I'm saying?
One plus one does, you know what I'm saying, equal two.
Okay,
We
okay,
see it. We
okay,
see it.
okay. The judge said it was deterrence. Keep you off the street from doing any real crimes because who knows, you may spiral in your geek monsterness. I guess that's how they was looking at it. But how I see it, this wasn't justice. This was just warehousing. Let me get you off the street. Let me put you where you need to be. Before they saw the man in front of them, they 100% saw a crackhead and a black one at that.
Of course.
Enter U.S. Rep. William Lacey Clay Sr., black man, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
He sends a letter to the judge, a plea, I'ma call it. He said, please, judge, give this kid treatment, not prison. Consider his youth, the systematic forces. Moving? Sure. Powerful? Not so much. The judge tosses that letter right in his junk mail. Mandatory minimums don't bend for letters, even from Congress. But later, old Clay would admit I wrote 1,000 of them letters. I can't recall him or his damn family. One thing for certain and two things for sure. Clay says you're not finna mix me up in that madness. And I respect it because I know that's what the other side do. Clay probably went to church with his cousin, sister, baby daddy, uncle, auntie one time. And they said, Clay, let me give you $20 to write this letter real quick. So let me tell y'all, oh, Maury didn't fare well in jail. He got there, he did his time, but 2 months into that 15-year bid, he wrote the judge a scathing 3-page letter. My boy thought he was Aaliyah. I'm sending you a 3-page letter.
Listen, he was in the jailhouse library.
Definitely using the jailhouse library. He talked about the conditions of the jail, how he wanted to kill himself, and if he's made to stay, that's exactly what he would do. He asked about
Mm-hmm.
being moved to a shock program, which was essentially boot camp for first offenders. This program was relatively new at the time. I ain't never heard of no shock
Mm-hmm.
program
Yeah, I
in
know
all
about
my
it.
days.
A lot of people used to rap about it. I mean, if you really a hip hop head, specifically the '90s, they'll just tell you everything that was going on. They were our news anchors. But shock program was just something that you could do that pretty much. Let's say if you had a 3-year sentence, you do shock for a year, you get out.
Yeah, that's what they said.
But it's rugged.
That's
Like
what my
it's
research
tough.
said. It's boot camp.
Yeah, yeah, it's tough.
This program was new at the time, but the judge told him, "Hell no, you staying right where you at." And while inside, Maury racked up 13 violations, showing that he wasn't just doing his time; he was in there being a problem. And that's why that judge left his ugly tank-headed ass right where he was at, because the judge
Mm,
was not going for none of the games. He was trying to play. I think that letter was a way of him trying to manipulate the situation, and I'm glad that the judge saw through what he was doing because he is very manipulative. This tankhead bastard is very, very, very manipulative.
he a geek monster, like you
He
said.
definitely a geek monster. I don't fall into the culturally usage of oh my god he was a narcissist. I'm not gonna cap you down. I don't know what the fuck a narcissist is, but I know what I do know. Psychopath, he certified.
A narcissist is
Certified
someone full of themselves. It's all about them.
psychopath.
Beyond pompousness.
Psychopath. I know that. I say I don't know narcissist because at this point, if somebody say I look good today, somebody gonna label them a narcissist. So I don't
Yeah,
be with
I
that.
feel you.
I don't be with that.
Yeah.
But luckily for old Maury, he ended up getting parole in June of '94 after doing only 5 years. He's a free man long before he was supposed to be. Now, if it was me and I did a third of my sentence, I would take my black ass somewhere and sit down. That's what
Mhm.
I would do.
That's a smart idea.
But his ass ain't stay free for long because in 1996, he was back in jail for drug possession. Third time's a charm, they say, because in 1998, his ass went back to jail again for drug possession and they revoked his parole this time. The system had him on a leash, but he kept violating and kept getting put in the slam. While he was in and out of jail, he found an apartment, and the people who lived around him said that he was extremely nice. Extremely nice. Everywhere he lived in all of this research that I did, his neighbors always say he was extremely nice. Now, go back to when he was that inconspicuous kid.
Mhm.
I think he realized the Kendells in the club was like, nah, this nigga suspicious. Why Brody just standing up? He noticed that. So to lower Kendall down, he realized I have to be nice. I have to talk to people.
You gotta blend in.
I got to blend in. So then he became overly nice. And to me, so if this nigga would have came skinning and grinning every day, I get the same way I'm inconspicuous.
You're very suspicious,
The
sir.
same way that I'm looking at you when you inconspicuous, you come skinning and grinning every day. I'm the same suspicion because why the ain't nobody this nice? What do
That's
you
fair.
want from me? But so this particular neighbor said one day he was coming into the building and she was coming down the steps. And I guess it's one of those buildings where if you coming down the steps, you can't like it's a door at the bottom of the steps. And she said Maury Travis scared her. She said like not because he did anything, she just didn't know he was there. So to combat that, every time he came into the building, he would hum so people would know that he was there so they weren't scared. Now that is nice. That is caring. That is, he is still a crackhead at this time, by the way. So it wasn't his quietness. She just didn't know that he was there. But if I'm playing into being nice because I am a geek monster and a maniac committing crimes, I don't need no smoke on me.
Yeah, I'm not humming. You doing a little too much. That's making the block hot.
Humming?
Yes.
And she was old, so I don't think
You
so.
being too nice is making the block hot. To me.
Well, she just looked at it as niceness and she appreciated that he no longer scared her out of her depend. That last time when he got out of jail in 1998, he bought a house. 1001 Ford Drive in Ferguson, Missouri. Let me tell y'all something. As a country, we are cooked. This man has been in jail for 2 years and he is a bona fide certified geek monster crackhead. He's able to get out of jail and buy a house.
Something's going on.
Buy a house?
You know my saying.
Somebody did this?
Somebody somewhere did this. They did something.
The American dream has failed miserably. The system needs a fix immediately because even this was 1998. 1998 wasn't that far ago. I can reach my hand back and touch something that I had in 1998. Like, it shouldn't have got this fucked up this fast. But when you leave white folks in charge of everything, this is what you get. So
They
I
should
don't
have
know.
never been in charge.
Listen, that's a different podcast for a different day. Next topic on
Come on over to mine. They
next
should have
topic
never been
on
in charge.
control change. If y'all want to hear us talk like this, go to Kendall's platform. Control change on all
Cause I'm
platforms.
going to cook.
But to play for this newly acquired purchase, he worked multiple restaurant jobs using the skills that he picked up in the slammer that he was on the outside. Because in jail, he worked in the kitchen. To go back to the cookness of this country, somebody working server jobs is able to afford to buy a house.
What a time.
Man, what? Take me back. But old Maury being Maury, he got his ass locked up again in November of 2000 at the ripe old age of 35 for getting caught with that crack cocaine on him. But this was just a little play charge because on this one, he only was in there for 4 months. And I think at this point, he know the ins and out of the jail. So he go in there and just, sit, be nice. You know what I'm saying? I know
It's
how to play
vacation.
nice now. Yeah.
It's a little break, time for him to sit and think,
Yep.
find out, figure out the new spots he gonna
Yep.
hit, the new crack he gonna smoke.
And I feel like if they would have kept him for the correct amount of time on any of these charges, the first time when he got locked up, he had 15, he did 5. A year here, a year there, 4 months on. You violated 3 times, my nigga.
Mhm.
So when people get mad about the 3 strikes you're out law, you know how I feel about that.
Mhm.
3 times in 2 years, he had them strikes and they kept letting him out of jail.
Mhm.
I don't feel like it's easy to say it now when you can look at a book and say it was a law in the paper, on the books of a law. I really don't feel like nobody was abiding by this shit on a grand level that they should have been. He should have been in jail for a very long time.
Hmm. I don't support black people going to jail, and I definitely do not support victims of war crimes that was committed against them going to jail. Because maybe if he wasn't a crackhead, he wouldn't behave like this. So I understand the 3 strikes rule. I don't support politicians. Like I don't support that. I'm not a fan of laws being passed and then being misused and targeting specific groups of people.
Fair. All I'm saying is for one single solitary case of everybody wasn't targeted, Maury Travis.
It should always have been case by case.
Guess what I'm saying? Maury Travis was not targeted. He was able to do the drugs, have the drugs, get caught with the drugs, and still find a way to get out and do more drugs and do more things. So I'm just saying
He was doing the job they wanted.
it wasn't a sweeping law because it did not affect everybody the same way, is all I'm saying.
I mean, I get it. I get it. Coordinates 38.6700 degrees north, 90.2580 degrees west. Location north of Del Mar Boulevard. Time 12:47 a.m. Ooh, that's those deadly hours. Subjects tracked female early 30s. Hunting a $10 crack rock. She needed a dime piece. Male 36. Duffel bag slung low. Inside, a Panasonic camcorder. Great device, by the way. Male subject ID, Maury Travis. Day job, jewelry in waiter. Active mission, lure, record, kill.
Sometime around the late 90s, he started paying for prostitutes, where he would take them back to his house to smoke crack and record them having sex. That's the talk track, right? No harm, no foul. Hey, baby, I know you out here selling that thing. I want to buy some of that thing. I got some crack rock to sell. You want to come with me, baby?
Yeah, once you finish turning them tricks, come on and holler at me. I got something for us to just
Hey
enjoy
man,
ourselves.
if I'm out here to get crack money and all I got, why would you not go?
You gonna go after?
No, he said, I want to pay for you. I'm finna pay you for your services in money and in crack. You get both.
Listen, baby, you gonna pat them feet on the concrete, and then afterwards you can go holler at that man.
Nah, I
Go
mean,
get
but
my money.
in her mind, she's thinking he's a John.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, of course.
So, and these were no pimps. These was crackhead bitches just out there. So the rules don't apply to that.
Crackhead pimping.
So this geek monster didn't want sex. He wanted control. His method was very simple. Too simple, actually. But it actually was brutal. Free crack, he would offer. My place. It's close. Right down the street. We could walk there, he would say. But he had a car. We could walk there, but you can also get in my car.
They don't do second locations.
They do not do second locations. He would then drive them to Ferguson, 1001 Ford Drive, to a ranch style house with a basement that reeked of bleach and dread. This insane motherfucker would hand them the pipe, watch them light it, watch the smoke curl on the pipe. He would then crank up that stupid ass camcorder with the camera rolling, talking straight bull ass shit the entire time. But the women was just thinking, he's just crazy. He just want a good time. This is just what he's into. I'ma do what I gotta do, go
Mm-hmm.
on about my business. They not
Mm-hmm.
thinking nothing of it.
They've dealt with crazier.
This man paid me for my time. We gonna have a time, and I'm gonna go on about mine. Like they are not literally not thinking nothing. Smoke a little crack rock, and he will record. But once he hit that pipe, every time his little pay to play section would go left. Let her hit it first. Then he hit it, and when he hit it, he turns into the literal devil. The first time it broke the scale on going left was when he recorded the tape he named Wedding Day. Runtime 2 hours, 17 minutes. The first hour and 27 minutes was as simple as the label. It was footage of a wedding reception. Come to find out, he didn't even know the people. He literally just went to somebody's wedding reception and recorded their wedding reception. Who is that inconspicuous nigga over there in the corner?
That's very suspicious. Very
They
suspicious.
had the cake cutting, the dancing, the laughter, everybody coming to the camera showing the baby. It is a joyous time.
They don't even know who this man
They don't
is.
even know who this man is, but you thinking he
Yeah,
recording the wedding.
yeah.
That's Uncle Junebug's son, Ray Ray.
Mm. Didn't even know Uncle Jubal had a son. Okay.
Then it cuts, and you can hear his voice murmur real low off camera. Got a new toy. Test run. Then the tape cuts to static. When the image returns, this nigga is in a damn basement. A young black woman, 19 years old. She is tied to the beam in the middle of the basement, and he's recording this. This kooky motherfucker had a belt wrapped around her neck, and this man is recording himself doing this. He literally is recording himself when he pulled the fucking belt, strangled her, and just watched her body go limp.
Yeah, that type of stuff exists on the black market.
After she's obviously dead, you could hear him say, "This is my first kill. Number one, she's 19. Name, I don't know." For 41 minutes, that camera rolled and he filmed her in terror. He choked this lady out for
Mm.
41 minutes. Her struggle, her final moments. And after it ends, this mother, oh, I'm trying not to cuss. He get back on there and say, first kill was nice. Who this lady was in our Lord year 2025, we still don't know. Still identified. Jane Doe number one is what they call her. She was erased twice. First by Travis's hands, then by a world that never even cared to learn her name. This tape isn't just evidence, it's the origin story of a serial killer recorded in real time. The police ended up watching it once everything was all said and done, and they didn't even care to like try to identify her. They just, oh, okay, that was his first victim. Fuck it. So now that this dog has tasted blood like any other animal, he wants more. And he begins to workshop what that looks like for him. He starts to make the women that he brought to the house dance in all white or wear sunglasses that he had like put paint over the lens so they couldn't see. Again, the ladies is just like, okay, this is his kink. This is what he's into. No harm, no foul. I smoke my little crack. I'ma turn my little trick.
Mhm.
There's no serious danger here. Like,
Mhm.
this is just his thing. He would cover their eyes with duct tape, tie them with rope or handcuffs, and drag them from upstairs and physically drag them down the stairs to the basement. He would keep them locked in that basement for days at a time. And he would just constantly have that stupid ass Panasonic camcorder on them while he's torturing them, hitting them with the stun guns, choking them out, like literal torture in the basement of this home. Midwest area where they got them basement bunkers where you can't hear shit that go on down there, they scare me. They scare me, baby. And I don't know if it's because I've watched so much true crime and everywhere always be, yeah, he just had him in the basement. You can scream, you can yell, you can. That's scary. That's
Yeah.
scary. That he can do this and nobody. He had a neighbor on both sides and nobody heard nothing.
Yeah,
That's
that they
scary.
usually get those type of properties too,
See what I'm talking
just for
about?
that.
Mm-mm. He would be verbally abusive as well on the tapes. A little foreshadowing. There's multiple tapes. It's at least 20 plus tapes of him
Mm.
doing this type of shit.
Dang.
On one, he could be heard asking one of the ladies, "I can't hear you. What you say it clear." To which this unknown lady replies, "You are the master. It pleases me to serve you." I know he told her to say that. In her nobody, no matter how much danger they are, is gonna concoct to say that in their mind. I know he told her to say that. He made her repeat that multiple times as she is in there crying, slobbing, spitting, snotting. He just keep making her say it. His insane ass would shift his tone to when he would ask, "Are you sorry?" You got me tied up repeating stupid shit. Automatically, I'm gonna say yes. Like, yes, I'm sorry. I don't know what I did, but yes. Then he would ask the follow-up question. Sorry about what? To which she would say, everything. This nigga then got mad and told her, berating her like he is her father about how she should not have gotten into a car with a man she didn't know. Look at this fool. He is the moral compass of safety and security when you're literally the one inflicting the pain. Like I just psychopathic.
Very.
Don't get in cars with strangers. Stranger, let me go, nigga. Then he started berating her for doing crack. Mind you, Kendall, they're smoking the crack together. Maury, don't piss me off. What are we even talking about here?
Hey, listen, man. Fired up.
Then he started pulling at the heartstrings. He asked this lady, did she have kids? And if she did, who was raising them? She told this nigga, yes, I got kids and I'm raising my kids. What do you mean? That the fact that she had kids and she was raising her kids and you left to go smoke some crack while you selling that thing, that shit set that man off like Lil Boosie. He let loose on this lady. He told her, wait, I gotta edit that out because I can't be laughing. This man looked her dead in her face and said, "You out here on your back smoking crack. You going home tonight. I'm gonna keep you here till tomorrow." Sir,
That's
sir.
crazy. This type of stuff has to stop.
He lastly asked if she wanted to say something to her kids, to which she said she was sorry. This is another unknown lady who also never left that basement. And just from the things that he's saying, it's very much giving self-hatred. I'm mad at you because you smoking crack because I'm mad at me for smoking crack.
True.
I'm mad at you for abandoning them kids because my daddy abandoned me as a kid. His daddy probably left to go do heroin.
The H dog.
So, like, I think that's where the anger was coming from because a psychopath is not going to look in the mirror and say, no, you are the problem. They're going to look at everybody else that do crack and say,
They
because
are the
you do
problem.
crack, you are the problem. And
Mhm.
I just so happen to do it too, type
Yes.
shit.
Shame, 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 shame.
It's clearly geek monster behavior because Maury, again, what do you even mean? I digress. April 1st, 2001, 3 a.m. A phone shattered the silence in Reverend Inuka Maguzi's Ferguson home. Mm. On the line was 34-year-old Elisa Greenway, her voice beaming with pride and admiration. Mom, I met someone. Good guy. He wants to talk to you. Before Rev could even respond and clear the frog out of her throat because it is 3 a.m. in the morning and she was in the middle of a dead ass sleep, a chilling, calm voice came to the line and he told Rev, she's safe tonight. She's with me.
Mm, 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 mm.
It was a bold faced lie wrapped in bullshit assurance. A moment in the Rev's night that would later play a huge role in the overall case. Alyssa was far more than the crackhead that they labeled her as. She was also a skilled hairdresser at Sheer Elegance in West Florissant, a proud Sumter High alum from the class of 85, and she carried Cherokee and Chickasaw roots on her mama's side that she made sure everybody knew about, okay? Because I'm Indian.
Mhm.
Indian.
You
What you
see
miss
it?
with Indian?
Mhm.
Hello?
My mama's side.
Hello. Most importantly, she was a devoted mother to a 9-year-old named Tasha and a 6-year-old named Marcus. After falling on hard times, Alyssa and her children moved in with Rev. It was a stable and safe home for her and her kids. She called Rev mom, and Rev opened up her doors fully to Alisa and her kids. That was their home completely. Just hours after that early morning phone call at noon in Washington Park, a trucker spotted feet protruding from a ditch off of Cassiville Avenue.
Mm.
It was Alyssa. She only had on a gray t-shirt dress. At 5'3" and 110 pounds, the brutal evidence of her death was clear. Deep strangulation marks was all around her throat. The
Damn.
official response was extremely dismissive and also rude. The police report, a mere 4 sentences. Unidentified black female, mid-20s, strangled. The unidentified was some bullshit because her fingerprints was sitting in Missouri's database from when she got locked up for possession. Nobody chose to check, right? Fuck it. She did. It don't matter,
That's right.
right? The system failed its first basic duty to know her name. But eventually, everybody decided to clock in that day and they got her identified. When they did, they hightailed it over to the Rev house to speak to her. Rev told them about that phone call. She told them, I spoke to the killer. That man on that phone did this. Find him. Her pleas met with a wall of indifference. Inside Alyssa's new open case file, the damning phrase crack whore was already scrolled. How are you, the police, calling somebody a crack whore?
Yeah, that's what they do.
That's some bullshit, dog.
That's how they get down.
Detectives nodded politely, took fake notes, and did nothing. So, as the rev is telling them, I spoke to this man, of everything that this reverend of the Lord Jesus is telling y'all,
Hallelujah.
the only thing that y'all could surmise from any of that is crack whore.
Yes, because she's black, and in that time period, you correlate crack and black together.
Crack.
So crack is there be little key words that they use really conveying certain messages. Crack is just black. Oh yeah, black person. Yeah, because white people don't smoke crack.
With the St. Louis police juggling 127 open homicides that year, women like Elisa, poor, black, struggling with addiction, they found their way to the bottom of the stack. Rev's fight was just the beginning. For months, she became a relentless advocate, badgering detectives, pleading with the local media outlets to publish Alyssa's story and details about that ominous call. And because she was a community advocate, she made sure to connect with other families of missing women from the area. She knew stuff like this didn't just happen, and when it did, they didn't just hit once. So Rev kept her ears to the streets because she refused to let Alyssa become just another statistic. After Alyssa's murder, Rev eventually took custody of Tasha and Marcus, so they didn't have to go to the state, but it also gave them a stable home environment to grow up in the path of this tragedy. And shout out to Rev, man.
Big
Shout out to
shout
Rev.
out. Big shout out to
Shout
Rev.
out to her. Barely 6 weeks after Maury Travis murdered Alyssa, he was out hunting again. This time, just blocks from the St. Louis neighborhood he grew up in. And her name was Teresa Wilson. The Baldwin neighborhood in the 70s and 80s, tight knit blocks. The constant rumble of a nearby train yard, this was Teresa's world. Her parents, hands off. I'm talking about very hands off. No chaperones at no part of her life or anything. No one checking to see where she was at, who she was with, what she was doing. At a very young age, Teresa was in them streets, to say the least. And because of this, she became the personification of independent. She was street smart and resourceful. And when you're young and turned, sometimes that kind of freedom can come with some risk.
Yes, it does.
They said one time her and her friends went to Six Flags, right? Everybody else got their way home. Everybody else's parents came to get them. The bus leave at this time, whatever. They knew what they had to do. Her method of getting back home was the city bus. She fucked around and missed the bus completely.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing she could do, because there's no parents, they super hands off, right? She took her left and her right and she started walking miles to get back home through neighborhoods, because Six Flags be off in the cut. Like you gotta, she walked. Because it was nobody come pick homegirl up. So she did what she had to do, right? This wasn't no short truck, Kendall. She was alone by herself, but she was tough, right? She made it home. They said it took her like 2 hours. Like, I don't know how long it takes to walk 2 hours, but it took her 2 hours to walk home.
That's some time.
That's some
Okay.
time. She was tough and she knew she had to get back home, and it was no sense in crying about it or making it a big deal. She was adaptable. Maybe a little too adaptable for her own good, if you ask me. Because I would have called the police to take me home before I would have walked them 2 hours.
That's fair.
By 17, our girl was knocked up. With no help, she knew school was no longer an option. So she ended up dropping out. But she poured every ounce of everything she had into being a great mama. She was a dropout, but she wasn't having any of that when it came to her baby. She insisted on good grades. She didn't play that bull stuff. You know what I'm saying? She was not, I don't care what I did. What you finna do is good grades.
Mm-hmm.
They said she dressed her baby sharp, baby. Every time you see her, you knew that was Teresa, baby, right there.
Mm-hmm.
She was fighting, doing everything that she could and should be doing. But life was stacking up against her. Teresa did what she could to stay afloat, but life was hard. And as she was moving and grooving, doing the mother thing, that crack pack hit the street. You could see the downward spiral that Teresa was on. She literally smoked through all of her savings.
Mm.
So when that money was gone, she started selling that thing down on Broadway Boulevard, just mere blocks from where she played as a kid. But now she was doing more on those streets. along with selling it whenever the money was right. She got caught up in the drug bust and boosting. Bring back boosting culture.
She work hard for the money.
Stuff is entirely too expensive these days. And all I'm saying, I'm putting a call off for anybody that's in the Phoenix area that can walk out of the grocery store with a whole goddamn Sunday meal tucked in their shirt. Come holler at me. I got some dollars for you.
She work hard for the money,
Where
and
the
you
people that can
better
take the
treat her
whole
right.
rack of shirts out the store, just the whole rack? Holler at me. Pop the trunk.
Mm.
I'm taking it. Pop the trunk. Bring back the boosters. But because she was on that crack attack, she would often vanish for days and then pop back up like nothing happened. She'll come back like, "Oh, I was in jail for blah 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 blah. Oh, I went to rehab." Just telling people where she was, like, "Oh, I went to the bathroom." Like, girl, you was missing for days. In the midst of her missing, though, when she was turning these tricks, she would go to jail or go to rehab, and her daughter would literally just be sitting outside. Somebody in the neighborhood know, okay, Teresa gone. Let me get the baby this time. Oh, Teresa missing. Let me get the baby this time. She would turn tricks, leave the girl on whatever corner they was at. You just sit right here. I'll be back.
Yeah, that's a little too much.
She was too far gone. She was too far gone. And when you get that far gone, you know what I'm saying? Them laws, it's only so many times Miss Cynthia gonna take your baby in before Miss Cynthia try to go get some food stamps of having that little girl, and then they gonna say, "Where's the mama?" And then it's all fucked up. So unfortunately, she didn't get the happy ending like Alyssa's kids. She did end up going to the state. They did end up taking. So we're gonna fast forward to May 2001, Broadway Boulevard. A nondescript rental car pulls up. The offer was too good to pass up for Teresa. Free crack, enough for the whole weekend.
Mm,
If somebody, I don't care on what level, if somebody is offering you something and it's too good to be true,
don't do it.
more often than not, it is. Don't do it. Do not do it.
If it sounds too good to be true, that's because it is.
Yes. It didn't take much to convince Teresa to get into that car. He drives her back to his place at 1001 Ford Drive. Promises on promises about what would happen when they got on that pipe. But once Teresa got inside of that house, it was no longer a laughing or smiling matter. And we know that from Travis's own sick recordings. We know he beat her, cuffed her, that damn camcorder all in her face, and finally, strangulation. Another life erased for his tape. Weeks later, in St. Charles County, a grass cutter finds her body dumped near West Alton, nude, decomposed, face and hands unidentifiable. 45 days and 30 miles from where he dropped Alyssa. He was going the extra mile to make sure identifying them would be harder to do.
At this point, because I am a rookie when it comes to crime
Mhm.
and crime shows and
Mhm.
just the nature of criminals.
Mhm.
Shouldn't the police department be like start to conclude something is going on here? There's a serial something, serial murderer, serial rapist. We got to get on this. Isn't that what should be happening?
That's exactly what should be happening.
Okay.
But before they are anything, they are what that police officer put in that book, crack whore. I don't see the person. I see that she did crack and now she dead. And she black.
Well, we knew that from smoking crack. So
Come on, man. Cops logged her unidentifiable female, mid 20s, 5'3", 110 pounds. Case files ready to gather dust. Then there was a break. No fingerprints because he messed those up. Not even the faintest speck of DNA. It was her smile. They found her dental plate and inscribed on it was her last name, Wilson. Crazy. I didn't even know you could put name on dental.
mm, 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 mm.
My boy is mind boggled up.
It's just crazy that people really do this type of things.
Yes, and I think for me, that's why I like true crime so much because in my wildest dreams, I would not be able to fathom up no shit like what you say all the time. If I'm gonna make something up, it wouldn't be this.
Yeah, this ain't my thing.
No missing persons report was ever filed for her. Not by distant family, not by friends, not by nobody. Because again, this is what she does. She disappears. So when she went missing, nobody thought to say, damn, Teresa is missing. They just thought, okay, she in jail or rehab again. And then she really had no reason to come back to the neighborhood because the folks got her daughter.
True.
So she She could probably skip states for all they
Mhm.
knew. The department is underpaid and understaffed, so another missing sex worker was not a priority. It was paperwork. Leads died fast, files got buried. Meanwhile, Teresa's daughter was safe in foster care. Thankfully, thankfully, she had no idea what had happened to her mama. She learned the brutal truth over a year later from a cold case detective that knocked on her door.
That's horrible.
That's horrid. I could not imagine. Spring turned into summer in 2001, and yet another woman vanishes from St. Louis's city limits, Betty James. Betty was 46 years old when she was last seen in Illinois. This geek monster is now crossing state lines with
Mm.
this bullshit. Like Maury earlier victims, she was struggling, scraping to get by, doing day labor work by day, selling that thing by night. Her life hollowed out by that crack rock and blew her whole world up in smoke. And because of that, once again, he found another victim where no one raised any alarms. Nobody filed a missing person report. Nobody called the police, said she was missing. Nothing. So by June, she was simply just gone. She gone. We don't know where she at. That's another part of the crack epidemic that people don't talk about. Like people just, even if nothing nefarious was happening, how do you just know a person and then they don't show up and don't nobody give a fuck?
It was a really interesting time. Like, mm,
This is 2001 though, Kendall. Your feet was on the concrete in 2001.
I know.
You lived through this.
I know.
Like, I'm thankful I'm an adult when I'm an adult because this shit was treacherous.
Like, I was outside witnessing these
This
things.
shit is
It was
treacherous.
nasty.
Around June 23rd, 2001, 12 weeks after he killed Alyssa, Betty's body was found in a remote Missouri ditch. The scene was too familiar. She was found nude, face down in weeds beyond a gravel turnaround. She was too decomposed, so that ruled out visual identification. She had no wallet, no jewelry, no ID. But what Betty left behind was a silent witness, a painful and sick one. Betty gave them tire track impressions. And if you was wondering how she got them tire track impressions on her, well, let me tell you that this sick bastard literally drove over her. The print was right on her thigh. It left a unique tread pattern that had actually matched to earlier crime scenes. Trying to be evil is what's ultimately gonna be his fucking downfall. Killing her wasn't enough.
Nah, I gotta drive over her.
I be flipping out
Mm.
when it be like something already dead on the street. I can do. Oh Lord. I cannot imagine. Her cause of death, like the other ones before her, manual strangulation, no tools, just hands around her neck. And her last breath on that stupid ass camcorder. It's not much known about Betty's life before she hit the streets. Who was her family? Were they missing her, hoping she would come back home one day? Living was tough, and lives like Betty's often slip through the cracks and totally off of society's radar. She navigated the ups and downs, highs and lows of life, living in housing projects and streets offering little to no hope. More no than little. She showed up for work when she could. She pawned whatever she could to get the money she needed for rent. She tried rehab, that didn't work. And she got pulled into the streets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Betty's death shattered the illusion of coincidence and the lies the police department was trying to spin. 4 women in 3 months, Kendall. It took four. When you were saying you knew, it took four.
Something is not right here. Something's fishy.
It took four.
Cause it shouldn't take four.
These are the similarities, right? All black, all involved in sex work, all strangled, all dumped, all from the same neighborhood. Duh. They all were taken from Broadway. The only one that wasn't taken from Broadway was a lady he went to Illinois and got.
Mm-hmm.
But he dropped her close to Broadway.
Teresa.
Betty.
Betty.
hmm By early summer 2001, St. Louis PD and Illinois State Police couldn't ignore the pattern. A organized predator was on the loose and hunting, and he had a type, and he didn't mind dumping the bodies for anyone to find. 6 weeks after Betty was found, yet another woman vanished. Her name, Verona Thomas. She was 36 years old. And she also was strung out on that thing. And like the others who crossed paths with this devil, she was selling that thing on Broadway, right in Ferguson. She's remembered to have been quiet and withdrawn. They say she spoke a lot about being sad with herself, about the child that she lost to the system, right? She outside. What you want to talk about? She want to talk about her child that the system got.
Mhm.
I can't blame her. I'm gonna get clean for my child. Like I just know that that probably was a constant conversation that, like, she was trying to fight that shit within herself.
Mhm.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
And in the early summer of 2001, Maury Travis turned her lights off indefinitely. On that fateful night, Verona accepted a ride from a stranger in a rented sedan, promised a good night of fun and all the crack she could take in. Unaware this was a trap, she got in that car with that man. I'm sure he played the role all the way to the house, all the way up until he got that stupid ass camcorder out and recorded her final moments.
You know it.
He forced her to get naked, whispered taunts at her, and just like the unfortunate sisters before her, he strangled her with the belt, all while narrating this cruelty and what he was doing to her, play by play. Her nude, decomposing body was discovered on May 15th in roadside brush about 30 miles north of St. Louis. But he's getting bold because now he done dumped her body less than 20 feet from where the fuck he dumped Teresa at.
I mean, I already got away with this many. Yeah,
Yeah,
y'all not gonna do nothing. Come on.
that's true. That's true.
I'm getting, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to feel myself. Come on, y'all really not gonna do nothing.
Come on, man. It took 4 bodies to come up dead before they really, really started to want to do something about all of this. 4 sex workers, all found within 2 months. They set up a super duper task force at this point. Illinois State Police, the City of St. Louis Homicide, and St. Charles County Sheriff's Office. They compared notes. They were slapped dead in the face with the similarities. They determined that all of this foolishness was being perpetrated by one fraud, one single person. And they officially concluded that St. Louis had a serial killer on their hands.
All right, look at them finally doing their job.
Somebody decided to clock into work that day. Verona's body didn't have any identification because she was decomposing, we knew his MO, so they weren't able to get any fingerprints or facial recognition from her. But they were able to identify her by some unique dental work that they found in her throat that matched records from the local clinic. Do you know how hard you got to hit somebody to knock their teeth down their throat?
Very hard.
Shout out to the coroner who went in her throat and got that teeth and decided to do the work to match it to the clinic. The coroner decided to clock in and do some
Mhm.
work.
Shout out to the coroners.
Shout out to
Those
the
my
coroner.
people. They do their job.
In her final weeks, she tried to rebuild herself. She was doing all the right things. She checked herself into a short term rehab where she was actually staying when she got snatched off the streets. She carried a notebook of trusted contacts, but she was still swinging it high and throwing it low on Broadway, clinging to hope that she would muster up within herself to look towards better days. Yet, when she went missing, that rehab that she was in had a curfew. Nobody called. Nobody said she was missing. Nobody sounded the alarm. She was doing all the right things to get better. And yet, the system that was supposed to help her failed her. And I know the inkling of them is, oh, she probably went back to the streets. Oh, fucking
Of
well.
course.
Go let the police find her and say she went back to the streets. They should have never not did nothing.
I hear stories like this, and you know what it makes me think about?
What?
Natalie Holloway and those type of women.
We know
We
too
will.
much about Natalie Holloway.
That's my point.
We know way too much about her.
That's my point.
There was no reason that me, was able to look at some shit about Amy Bradley and from the sign immediately say that's what the fuck Holloway was.
And we
Man.
gotta have bod uh, 5 bodies drop before they even recognize
Yep.
somebody's doing this.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying, guys. That's it. It just be things I be thinking about.
Now, if Maury was any kind of smart, he would have been in his house with the news on the TV to see that connections was being made on them bodies that he was dumping all over St. Louis. That would be the smart thing to do. But if he was smart, he would have known that they formed a task force and he should probably be laying low in his house. Maury Travis was doing the complete opposite of laying low. He was putting himself right in the crosshairs of the police. On the 4th of July in the year 2001, when he should have been on somebody's grill or popping some fucking firecrackers. This geek monster was kidding. The police called on him because the neighbors who was outside doing the right thing, they was enjoying they barbecue rib and they barbecue hot dog and they fireworks. They was just having a good time,
Mm-hmm.
enjoying their day off work, partying, doing the electric slide. When they see a butt naked ass lady running from Maury Travis's fucking house, yelling and screaming, crying for her life.
Yeah, yeah. It's time to call them boys. It's time to call the local authorities. It's about that time. Yeah.
You just said you was an abolitionist. How you at call the authorities?
You know, I am. I am an abolitionist. I am not one to judge you on your vices outside of the public, but number one, consent. Number
Mhm.
two, we got to call the local authorities now because you are out of pocket.
The police was for sure called, Kendall. Don't you worry. They for sure called the authorities. He was arrested for beating a lady. Now, he told the police that he met her at the club the night before. He told them people that that lady went in his house and roofied him, put something in his drink and drugged him. And when he woke up the next morning, he found her going through his wallet trying to steal from him. And when he grabbed her, that's when she ran out the house butt booty naked.
But if I was going to rob you, I think I would get dressed first.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
That's just my thought.
Come on, man.
Now, maybe it was hot. She needed air because she had just finished doing what she was doing. So she was on her way home. She needed the air to get. I don't know, man.
If she was robbing him, she would have just ran to run. She would not have been out there screaming and crying and sobbing and fighting for her life.
Yeah.
What the real truth is, we will never know because neither of them decided to press charges. But what I can say is she was most definitely on her way to being Maury Travis's next victim for sure.
Most definitely. Yeah, them boys need to get called.
Now, I said this. He was a killing crackhead geek monster. Apparently, he was known to have a pretty good social life. Remember, the neighbor from before said he was really nice. He frightened me and he hummed coming in the building because he didn't want to frighten me no more. He
Mm-hmm.
was such a good neighbor. He was oh so nice. Now, apparently, he also was a ladies' man and kept a woman or two or three. They said that he loved this little 2000 black Mitsubishi Eclipse he had.
Okay.
Thus is why he was always doing his bullshit and rented cars because God forbid a crackhead other than him getting his little pissy ass car.
Yeah, God forbid.
Again, we're gonna go back to how this country is the pits of hell. How is a crackhead able to buy a house and then also buy a brand new fucking car?
We're going to give him the loan because we know he will default. We're going to get this right back. We are not
A
tripping.
man working serving jobs at a local hotel was able to buy a house and a brand new car all while smoking crack. We have lost the plot as the country. We have lost the plot.
We never had the plot.
We have lost the plot. Hey, the shit is way too expensive, man. Like this was not that long ago. 2001 was not that long ago for people to not be able to afford new cars. Kendall, you said it yesterday. The cars are nice, but they so starting payment starting at if you got 850 credit and your payment is $700 is crazy.
Yeah, that is outrageous. The
That's
whole point of
crazy.
getting 850 credit was so your car note could be $2.
That's what I'm saying. So if the car like this fucking Mitsubishi probably was $7,000 brand fucking
No, it wasn't. It was probably like 17,
that's
maybe
not bad.
17 to
But it's
21.
a good car though, right? For the
For the
time.
time, yes.
Being able to I feel this is gonna be a hot take. I feel like if your vice is smoking crack, if your vice is smoking crack, but you get your crack smoking ass up every day and go to work, you should be able to have a house, have a car, smoke your crack without having to be homeless. I truthfully feel like that.
Functioning crackhead.
Absolutely. I support any type of functioning addict. I don't give a damn what you do. As long as you do your job, go do it.
Okay.
And somebody's reporting they went and found an old friend of his named Kaditsa. And she is a Kaditsa. Because she would tell anybody that would listen that he wasn't violent. She said she once saw a man hit Maury and he ain't do nothing at all.
Yo, call the same local authorities on her because she's out her mind and she needs to be admitted. That's what she needs.
All I'ma say is, of course he didn't hit no man back because that man would have goddamn folded him like a pretzel, and he knew that.
Like an Alabama trinket.
Man, you hear me? Maury, you are a crack smoking geek monster. You would have tried a man, they would have knocked the Mario bazooka coins up out your ass. Okay, Kaditsa. Okay. While he was out doing all this killing and brutalizing, the girlfriends was around. He was doing the family thing, meeting the family, going to the church, going to the baptisms. He was doing the whole nine. One of the mothers of his exes said she could not believe that Maury was doing this.
Mm.
She said he seemed so happy, so calm, so cool, so collected. He was the type of man that she wanted for her daughter. And here go fucking Kaditsa adding her 2 cents that didn't nobody ask her for it, talking about, yeah, I don't think he did that because he only go for smart girls.
I see.
And you know how, you know what? I beg to differ because Kaditsa don't sound smart at all, and that was your fucking friend. So I am judging the level of smart that you say he got.
Hmm.
Kaditsa.
Hello, local authorities.
Now, while he doing all this double agent work and living multiple lives, one time he slipped up and let an old coworker see behind that curtain. Maury and the coworker was outside talking about a friend who car had got stole in East St. Louis. Maury came out his mouth talking about, yeah, that's a good place to dump stuff because ain't much police around that area.
Yeah, you see.
And wouldn't he know? Because many of the bodies that he dumped was dumped right there on that side of town. He was starting to feel himself way too much. And I think I said it 2 weeks ago. All the pieces of his bullshit plan was falling perfectly into place. So he was walking around feeling like the man.
But he couldn't keep his mouth shut.
But when you feeling like the man, why should I? I done got all these bodies. They ain't found me yet. Man, east side. Drop them bodies on the east side.
Man, I've been feeling like the man when I walk through.
And that thinking had him moving on 10 times speed. On August 25th, they found Yvonne Cruz naked and strangled. 2 weeks after that, on October 8th, Brenda Beasley. She was found naked and strangled and left in the field. But see, these two women was different because Travis had officially flown too close to the sun and forgot what the fuck was going on. Do you know this man left his skeet in both of these women?
Oh yeah, see, he's getting carried away. He's getting carried away. Yeah, you know, he's getting carried away. This nigga stealing snacks and not even trying to replace it.
Oh man.
He's like, yo, I just took your shit.
Oh
Yeah, yeah.
man.
Yo, what happened to my yogurt? Yeah, I took it. I was hungry, so I ate it, man. It was really good too.
He left his skeet in both of these women, and when the police ran the test on both of them, they got a match, which did a couple things for the police. It confirmed what they already expected all along, that this was just one killer. This was just one person doing all of this, but without any DNA because he taking their fingerprints and we finding them when they decompose. We don't know, but this right here was the icing on the
Mhm.
cake. This is what we need. In addition to that, they now have a DNA sample. So once them supercomputers got to twisting and turning, he was as good as caught. When they finally added him to the CODIS, because at this point they didn't have a sample to compare it to, right? Yes, he's been to jail multiple times, but he was going to jail in the early 90s where there was no DNA database
Okay.
and the shit was super expensive. So that's when your fingerprint was enough. But
Okay.
now he now went into the modern age doing these crimes, not smoking crack, so probably not paying attention to new what you call it? New inventions on crime. He just thought, "Oh, I ain't leaving no fingerprint, they can't catch me." Stupid. But now they had the sample to put in there. So if they eventually did collect his sample, they would get a hit because they got it. Yeah, nigga, this is you. But for the time being, Maury Travis is still free and he is still on the hunt. And maybe that was the last hurrah for Travis because up until this point, bodies had been hitting the floor every 6 to 8 weeks. So when the police was getting ready to eat their turkey and their ham and tell everybody what they was thankful for, they were anticipating getting a call about finding another body. But it didn't happen. So now the police is wrecking their brains trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Where did this man go? Right. But in between those last bodies, the world had changed. We were just weeks past September the 11th, and the country was in a state of confusion, shock, and sadness. Nothing mattered but coming together for your neighbor. At the time, they thought maybe the killer had a conscience. Maybe September 11th woke up something in him so deeply he saw people jumping from a fucking building and he said, "Oh my God, I should stop."
Mm. How moving.
Yeah. The police, being the police, was thinking like some white people, they talking about, well, maybe he enlisted in the army because then he would have a reason. He would be justified in killing. That is the whitest fucking summation of where somebody went I've ever heard.
Hmm.
But that's how I also know white people join the army for that reason right there.
Ding,
Because
ding, ding,
why?
ding,
Why
ding.
is that what you thought? Oh, we going to kill terrorists and he like to kill women, so he gonna join the army? No, bitch.
Let me tell you something. You are the next contestant on The Price is Right.
Like, no, no. But that's not what happened. On the flip side of that, though, they thought maybe he went to jail for something somewhere. He was off the streets. And wouldn't you know, sometimes the simplest answer be the right answer. Because true indeed, that's exactly what this geek monster was. He was locked up on November 29th on another drug possession charge. Now, why they didn't take his DNA when he got locked up this time? Who knows? But if they did, they would have solved this case and we would have been done with this story. But obviously we not. He served 3 little pissy months and was released. Now, while he was in chain gang, the police did find 3 more bodies that had been dead for months. So we all know what that means. There was no fingerprints, there was no way to identify these ladies. But,
Horrible.
but when he got out that last time, he did sit his ass down somewhere and went quiet. So the police worked their case for a little while longer, but nothing ever came of it. So it went cold. And by they didn't find nothing, bodies was not just popping up at the local ditch by the school. Don't mean he stopped, just means that they ain't find shit.
Yeah, but I got DNA for these two that we got right here. So
He ain't leave his ski in nobody else.
yeah, but I got DNA for these two that we got right here.
Yes. But you don't know what the DNA go to. You don't know who it is. You don't know who DNA it is. You have 2 same DNA samples. You don't have a sample in your system of Kendall went to jail, so we took his, like, you don't have nothing to match it again. Enter Bill Smith, a reporter for the St. Louis Post Dispatch. He had been following this case for a while and was absolutely mind blown when the police let this case go cold. He was pissed because he didn't like the way they portrayed it in the media. He felt like how I feel. They were more than just prostitutes who just so happened to smoke crack. He wanted to shed light on who they were besides their faults. He wanted to show the real truth of the lives of these ladies. So he wrote an article on the life and times of our girl Teresa. He talked about the relationship she had with her daughter, her fight to kick the crack addiction and get that monkey off her back. The story was front page news on the May 19th, 2002 issue of the St. Louis Post Dispatch. While Bill was trying to do good in his community and humanize the people that had been so victimized, that geek monster Maury Travis was enjoying this and getting off that someone was talking about him and he was starting to have some sort of notoriety. And because of this article, Maury Travis will overplay his hand and come into the light with us regular people. And he will be pointed out like the crackhead, geek monster stain on society that he is.
Mm.
Now, before that good man Bill wrote this article, the case was cold, remember? And I guess because of that article, Maury Travis wanted to warm the trail back up. So on May 24th, 2002, he sent a letter to the local newspaper, anonymously praising the story. He said, and I quote, nice sob story about Teresa Wilson. Write one about Alyssa Greenwood. Write a good one, and I'll tell you where many others are. To prove I'm real, here's directions to number 17. Search a 50-mile radius from the X. Put the story in the Sunday paper like the last. End quote. Bill said, I bet, and alerted the police immediately to what he
All
had just
right, there
received.
we go. There we go. And then let me tell you something. I am not a proponent or a supporter of calling the police. But people like him, the local authorities need to be notified. Because if not,
He just keep going.
We gonna have to do something about it.
At this point, they found 8. He talking about he go number 17. The police really didn't know what to do with this letter, but it was confirming additionally what they already knew. The man that has been killing all these ladies, Alyssa was the first body they found. They had 8 more after her. Now he's talking about 17. Man, between 9 and 17,
That's
when
it.
it comes to lives taken, is a ginormous number.
It is.
The place he's sending them to on this map was near West Alton, where 2 bodies had already been found. He gave them GPS coordinates and sent them on their way. On the next day, May 25th, 2002, a slew of detectives from the St. Charles County Sheriff's Office was playing treasure hunt where X marks the spot after he sent them a map to follow. At this point, he just wanted attention and somebody talking about his tankhead ass. But the police will soon realize they were way behind the 8 ball and how dangerous he was and how many lives he had really taken.
Way behind the 8 ball.
On this beautiful May Day, the sheriff's office had planned on being out in this field all day long. Everybody was prepared for this to be a long day. They thought they would be searching this field for hours and hours and hours because there is no way this X is the exact location in this huge, ginormous field of where this body would be, right? Wrong. They literally walked 13 steps to the train track and saw what they first thought was a mushroom in the grass field. So they walked over close to get a look, and it was indeed not no fucking mushroom, but a human skull.
Mm.
The skull had been out in the elements so long that all the skin and hair had decomposed, and all that was left was bones. I didn't even know bones could get discolored by the sun, but apparently they can. And
Yes.
apparently that's how long she was out there, that her skeleton was now yellow. The rest of the body was still there. So they saw the head because of how he positioned it, but the rest of her body was there. It was all bones. And on her torso, they found what was left of a woman's dress. That proved that whoever sent that letter didn't have no rap in his cap and he was telling them the for real deal truth.
Hmm.
And they knew they could no longer play around with this case and the bodies that were coming up dead. They had to catch this fool immediately. And that map was the best and most current lead that they had. The letter to the newspaper was postmarked May 21st, 2002, just 2 days after Bill's article was published. It had an American flag stamp that he stuck on upside down on purpose. The return address was for I Thraldom with the New York address, but the postmark let them know that it was sent locally, letting them know that they was dealing with a homegrown fool and not nobody from the great state of New York City. Now I don't know, I ain't know what no I Thraldom was, so I went on the World Wide Web and I Googled and I slammed my fucking computer down when I should have been at work because this was a site for bondage and torture porn.
Mm. Yeah, don't look that up.
And he did this to let everybody know this is the type of time he was on with them ladies. This is what these ladies endured in their last days. But the shining light on this, he did not submit it to the site for them to get on there. I think he was just saying, this is what I do, type of
Hmm.
thing.
Okay.
It was starting to become clear to everyone involved that he liked causing chaos and confusion that he can be the center of because he really got off on the attention. He is getting off on the shock value of all this shit that he's doing.
I mean, that's why he sent that letter in.
That's exactly why he sent that letter in. He was a certified psychopath. Not in the ha ha ha, you so crazy way. No, like they should fucking take his brain and study it and see what is wrong with him type of way. And while he was crazy, he wasn't sloppy. On that letter, he made sure not to leave a fingerprint, a DNA sample on nothing. Not the envelope, not the map. What was else in there? Or the stamp. Not the envelope, the map, or the stamp. Nothing. The police went to every Kinko's, every library, every mom and pop print shop around to see if they had printed this letter, but they came up short. Now, what make y'all think people don't got no damn printer in their house?
You know what? What you said earlier? What it all boils down to? All
Racism.
right.
Damn, we can't have no printers because we black.
You can't afford them. Your
Ah,
printer money is going to Jordans.
and crack apparently.
And chicken
Nah.
and watermelon and Hennessy or
Oh,
whatever they were drinking back then. Yeah, honey, definitely Hennessy.
Alizé,
Yeah, that Alizé.
Alizé.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided to change gears, and somebody had the bright idea to see where he printed this map from. And I mean, it's 2002. The internet was still new. Nobody except young adults and kids knew how to use the computer and search and find things for real. And that's such a crazy thing to say. And if somebody said it to me and I wasn't there, I don't think I would believe it. Like if I was a young adult now and I would say, yeah, nobody knew how to use the internet, but like us, the kids. I was 2000, what year this is? 2002. I was 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody around me knew how to use a computer. They had no idea what the internet was.
I remember those days.
So imagine the police department didn't even know how to use the internet.
I remember those days. And let me tell you, kids think the internet has always been around. They can't fathom
A world
time when
without.
the internet was not present
Yeah.
or your
Like,
phone not in your pocket. If you wanted to look something up, you had to go to the
yeah, but they
library.
go get that encyclopedia.
Mm-hmm. That blue and black.
Hello? Yes, they were the police, but the internet, a website, what's that? How do you even do that? So they found a young enough detective that told them that this map was printed from Expedia.com. And because what the hell is an email, they physically took that evidence of that map to the actual Expedia.com.
Mm-hmm. .com.
They took it to the actual Expedia like work office and asked for help. And in doing this, they found out that every time someone logs into their site, it was being tracked by the parent company, which was the big kahuna, Bill Gates and his people and his homies over there at Microsoft.
Message.
They swiftly got a grand jury subpoena for Microsoft to give them all the data, the graphic logs, the files, the account information, and sessions of anybody who was searching the West Alton section of St. Louis from May 18th to May 21st. And they waited for Microsoft to compile this information and get it back to them. Now, in my head, as I'm writing this, I'm like, 2002 West Alton in St. Louis, that shit ain't finna come back with nothing but about tenfold.
Yeah.
If that. Like
Yeah,
it's it's
okay.
it's not gonna be a that's super particular on what they was looking
Yeah,
for.
okay. Needle in a haystack.
You think so?
I think so.
And while the laws was doing what they needed to do to get this solved, Bill, not Gates, the reporter, he got to working on that article about Alyssa. Everyone involved decided that was the best thing to do instead of while they wait for the files to come back from BG and his people in hopes that that would lead to finding another body, right? Alyssa's article will also run on the front page of the Sunday paper as requested. The article was written and published, and the reporters at the Dispatch waited for another letter to come through, but it never came because Bill Gates and them got back to the police the day after Good Bill published his article. BG and them sent over an Excel sheet because I mean, what else would it be? You feel me? Like what? How else would he send it?
Of course.
It has to be Microsoft Excel. It was only one single solitary search that had ascended on Expedia.com looking in that area. The metadata showed that he zoomed in on that map about 10 times, with the last time being the exact map he had sent Mr. Bill at that newspaper.
Mm.
BG and them gave the police the IP address, but they couldn't provide a name.
She really giving him a nickname. BG. Like he cool and all that. Y'all homies. Yo, BG, let me what's up?
In 2002, I know this had to feel like solving a crime in what we would consider today virtual reality. Like for hard nosed, beat your feet on the concrete police.
Yeah, this hard work.
Did
This is
what?
this should work.
IP? What is an IP address? Like I know the officers on this shit probably was blowing their mind. They didn't know or understand what they was doing to get any of these terms. If I had to describe what I think this feels like to them, I think it literally feels like they chasing a ghost. Anybody who was in the early stages of like internet crime, I feel like they was out there chasing Casper.
Yeah.
What does any of this mean?
And this is not even real. So what do you How do
Yeah.
you use this?
Yeah. The early days of the World Wide Web was the Wild Wild West, man.
It truly was.
The authorities took what they could and set out to find somebody that could help them locate a IP address. And for that, they went to WorldCom Inc., which was the company that provided the telephone numbers that was connected to the lines for the dial up.
Hmm.
This is some good ass policing.
Yes, it is.
On June 4th, WorldCom Inc. told the laws that on the night of May 20th, 2002, the user comes back to someone using the address MSN slash Maury Travis. Got you. This was the first case that was done through investigating the highways and the byways of the World Wide Web. We know now that they are watching everything, but back then, we was all under the impression that if you goddamn deleted that browser history, it was gone forever.
Yes, we was.
Come to find out, we've been getting watched our whole lives. We thought once we deleted them histories, it was gone forever.
Yeah, gone forever, right in the trash bin.
Definitely used to be using that trash bin. But thanks to WorldCom, they got the name Maury Travis. And they easily tracked him down to his house because he was in their system because he stayed in and out of their house going to those extended sleepovers and they located him immediately. And when they did, they put him under 24-hour surveillance until they was able to get them search warrants to go up inside that house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we know who you are. We know that you out here being a menace to society. We can't take 1 minute off of you because God willing, we know your name,
You
and
know it.
tomorrow a body gonna pop up.
You
We
know
not
it.
playing with you like that. 3 days later, on June 7th, 2002, at 7 a.m., Morris Travis was woken up by banging on his front door. He opened the door, still half asleep in his drawers, and he opened them beady little eyes of his to see the ABC boys at his front door, the FBI, and the St. Louis homicide.
Mm.
They handed him a warrant and stepped right past him in that house and proceeded to turn that bitch upside down and downside up. Morris Travis ain't give a damn. He asked them, "Why are y'all here so early?"
This shit is stupid.
Hey man, why y'all here so early?
I mean, yeah, he feels that they're very inconsiderate.
And they told that smart mouth bastard, "You know exactly why we here." They allowed him to go put some clothes on and they decided to do the first interview right there in his living room.
Hmm.
During the interview, they said he wanted to control everything, where the police sat, what they was allowed to say, and on multiple occasions, he tried to steer the conversation the way he wanted it to go. They said he had a cat, and every time the officers would pet the cat, this insane motherfucker would start huffing and puffing and move to the edge of the couch like he was finna do something.
Okay.
You ain't scaring nobody. If I was one of them authorities in there, I would have picked up that motherfucking cat and started purr, cat, purr. Fight me, nigga. Like you, oh boy. So eventually he got tired of them playing around with his cat. So they said he yanked the fucking cat up and like made the cat sit next to him so they would stop touching his cat.
He's definitely a hater.
Child. So he sat there with that cat for 2 hours as they was doing this interview. They asked him questions for 2 hours, and for 2 hours, he ducked every single last one of the questions they asked him. They asked him a simple question, some shit like anything. He was just repeating back to them. Where did you grow up? Do you know this smart mouth motherfucker say, where did you grow up?
Mm.
Did you go to school? Did you go to school?
Hard hitting questions.
What did you do as a child? Nothing. He had to know he was about to go down and he couldn't help himself. He had to try to continue to assert dominance into this situation. He just had to try to be in charge the best way he knew how. But through all of this, he never once asked them, "Why are y'all in my house? Why are y'all here? Why are y'all talking to me?" He never asked that. They are turning your house every which way but loose. And you just, what are you doing here? No, bitch, why you in my house?
Well, he asked, "Why are you here so early?" So he clearly just had an issue with the time. If they would have came a little later, maybe in the afternoon, maybe he would have felt a little bit more welcoming.
Now, he never denied, but he also never admitted to anything while they was there. And that's because he was trying to gauge exactly what they knew before he started telling on himself.
Hmm.
He was more concerned with how they tracked him down. He was more concerned on how did the fuck did y'all really find me? He thought he was the smartest in the room. He thought he wasn't gonna get caught. But in good old tan fashion, motherfuckers be so smart that they be what, Kendall?
Dumb.
Hello, somebody. They eventually told him that it was from the map, and they detailed how they tracked him down on the World Wide Web, and that they was gonna look at his computer and see all that he had been up to. And
Mm.
Mr. Too Cool Ice Baby lost his fucking mind. He started yelling and fussing and cussing. Stupid computer, stupid this, that. What you cussing for now? You was just cool, Mr. Cucumber. What you cussing for?
The walls are closing in.
The walls are definitely closing in. And on cue, once he started doing all of that, them laws said, and now we're gonna go down to the basement. We'll be back.
Hmm.
He started cussing even more when they started going down them steps. When they opened the door to that basement, they could not believe what it looked like down there. The upstairs of his house was so clean, so put together. In that fucking basement, they found blood because of course they did, right? That shit was on the floors, on the walls, on the beam in the middle. So they just started swabbing. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere they see blood, they just started swabbing because what what do you do? Upstairs, they were showing him women that they thought he killed, and they had good pictures of them back when they were still full of life, laughing and smiling, having fun, enjoying life before he snuffed their life out. So they showing him the pictures. He flipping through the pictures. They like, do you know any of these women? Nah, I don't know them. They say cool. They take the pictures back. This nigga wait about 10 to 20 minutes talking about, let me see them pictures of them dead ladies again.
Hmm.
The officers looked at him and said, I never told you they was dead. I never said that. Now they having a stare off because I'm looking at me and you looking at you and I'm looking at you and you looking at me because now what the fuck you about to say, Maury Travis? Played himself. It was nothing left to do after that. So he shut his mouth, dropped his head, and said, I'll take you. Now the police got to play stupid. Take us where?
Hmm. We need that confession.
Hey man, listen. I can't be giving him no pointers, but when they said take us where, that would have set me off. He said take you where. He said you know where. That's what you've been asking this whole time. So I'm gonna just give you what you want.
Nah, I don't know where. Where are you referring to?
See, and you want to keep it going, pissing me off.
Where are you referring to?
So they got in the car. They drove to East St. Louis. But when they were getting ready to cross over into Illinois, do you know this tankhead motherfucker changed his mind?
Mm, okay.
I said, "Oh, okay."
Okay.
He told them he no longer wanted to talk. He no longer wanted to tell them nothing. And he said, take me to jail. They said he was yelling, take me to jail, take me to jail, take me to jail. I believe it was in this moment he understood he had no more chips and he was completely out. And with death penalty on the table, they was for sure going to cook him. The police didn't argue. They just turned the car around and took him right to the police headquarters. Once they got back to the headquarters, they cranked the interviews right back up. They told him that he needed to give them and the victim's family closure. He was disgusted that the police called them victims. This man looked at that police officer and said, victims, those women were less than human.
Mm,
After all this time, all this damage, all this dirt, you still angry?
who hurt you?
Who hurt you? Just hateful. They interviewed him for another 5 hours, asking him any and everything that they could think of. The detectives asked Maury if it was nature or nurture. He looked at detective dead in the face and said, you'll never understand. I've been like this since I could remember. And in that moment, I believe that's probably the first time in a long time that he told anybody the God's honest truth.
Mm,
He didn't have much concern for anything that they was asking him. He didn't give a damn about the victims. He didn't give a damn about the police. He didn't give a damn about their kids. The only thing that concerned him was his mama. They would be asking him questions, and he would randomly just saying, "What I'm gonna tell my mama? What about my mama?"
hmm Mamas are important to sons. Very.
Agree. But you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I know you out here doing pure debauchery, but you still care about his mama.
Definitely doing pure debauchery. And his mama, for everything that her son was, she has never done an interview. She never did no newspaper. However she handled it, she did not handle it in the eyes of the public. I think if her son was unwilling to give the victims answers, he cared about your opinion so much, I think she should have gave him. He was out here committing crimes against humanity.
That's her son.
And while he was showing all the concern about his mama, the feds was back at 1001 Ford Drive, walking computers, ligatures, ropes, and belts, all covered in blood, right outside of his house, along with women underwear. They got a sample from him from all the blood that was in the basement, and they did end up adding it to CODIS. And then that's when they also noticed the tires on that punk ass Eclipse. These was the same tire prints that they knew that they had from the previous scenes, but also the same tire prints that was on Miss Betty legs.
That's what I was waiting for.
Why did you run her over?
Just for the pleasure.
Why did you do that?
When you that devious.
So as they tearing up this house, in the basement, they found a secret wall where they eventually found that first tape I told y'all about, the wedding day tape. At this point, he had added more to the tape than just the first victim. So how I surmised it happened, it was once a full tape. And then he just go further and further and just record more and more and more over the wedding day.
hmm
That's
That was
crazy.
the exact purpose.
That's crazy.
That's why he waited an hour and 27 minutes before he started to record over it.
The officers did end up watching the tape, but the department made sure that every officer that watched it did a mandatory counseling, because the chief, like the big police, knew, like, yeah, this is the type of shit that'll fuck somebody up.
Yeah.
Like, even if you was kind of a okay cop, you could lose your mind after watching some shit like this over and over. I told you I was like 25 tapes.
Mm. Yeah, I got one in me. That's it.
Click that in. The belt is around somebody's neck. I have none. I have zero. Once word got back to the headquarters, the ones that was down there interviewing him, they went into the room and said, we found your tapes, right? Still, no emotion, no care, no nothing. He simply told them, I figured y'all would eventually. He had moments sitting in there where he seemed remorseful for what he did, but he just kept repeating, I'm toast. I'm toast. I'm toast. I'm toast.
Because he knew what was coming.
I'm toast.
He knew what it was.
And in between him saying, I'm toast, he also kept saying, I'm not going back to jail. I'm not going back to jail. I'm toast, but I'm not going back to jail. I don't know if this was like him trying to think of a way. If I can continue to say this body is here, this body is here, this body is here, you was never gonna be free. You was never leaving that interview room as a free man for the rest of your life. He knew that.
I believe so.
He knew that. Now, why they was not listening to him saying, I'm not going back to jail, only the Lord knows. Only the Lord knows. He was saying it, he kept saying I was toast, and they just kept interviewing him. Once the Missouri cops deemed that they was done talking to him, they passed him over to the Illinois police, because remember, he was crossing state lines when
That's right.
Miss
When he
Betty
was
came from
that's
Illinois.
right.
So the Missouri officers have had this man for 8 hours. They've been planning to not touching his dog, where you want to go. What they was planning to his ego. They was letting him run the interview. They was letting him run everything that was happening for 8 hours. Illinois came in there and didn't give a damn about what they came in hot. Fuck you got going on. I am not finna play the telephone with you, Mr. Sir. I don't care about no pleasantries. I'm about that action.
Mhm.
Why did you do this?
Mhm.
He lasted 19 whole minutes with the Illinois police officers before he asked for a lawyer. He didn't need no lawyer no more up until this point. But once they got in
That's
there and
right.
he seen that they was not,
That pressure.
I ain't going for nothing that you talking about. Yeah, where's my lawyer? And at that point in the interview, it was done. They sent him off to maximum security, a one-man cell on the 8th floor of the St. Louis County Justice System. On the day of his arrest, he was only charged with 2 counts of federal kidnapping, while they went and put his DNA into CODIS to see what it came back to. So we just gonna put little charges on you
To
until we
hold
get
you.
everything back, just to hold you, just make sure you can't go nowhere.
Okay.
But the story went in before any of the victims' families would ever have their day in court, because old Maury Travis decided on July 10th, 2002, just 3 days after they put him in that lockup, the police went in his cell and checked on him, and he was hanging from the window.
He told y'all, "I'm not going back to
He
jail."
told y'all, "I'm not going back to jail."
He also said, "I'm toast."
Now, his setup in jail was something I've never, ever, ever heard before. He was only there for 3 days. I don't know how long the intake process take, but you gotta go in, they gotta let you talk to the mental doctor, they gotta let you do all those things. So, after he did all his evaluations and everything, the doctor told the correctional officers he needs to be on suicide watch. So they put him on suicide watch. Now, the watcher of the suicide was another inmate, not a
Mhm.
correction officer, not nobody getting paid for it, a literal inmate,
Mhm. Okay. The buddy system.
essentially. So he was supposed to have checks every 15 minutes that he was in that cell. But in that, he got 1 hour of free time. And free time was just when they opened the door and he can walk from his cell out into the corridor, back in there. Right? He was out, the door was open. So essentially, it was no breaks to necessarily take if he was outside. But if he went back in that cell, somebody was still supposed to do those 15-minute breaks, right?
Mhm.
Or 15-minute checks, right?
Mhm.
That didn't happen. And also, the cellmate CO that was supposed to be watching him missed the 7:30 check and the 7:45 check.
Mhm. Okay.
So at that 8 o'clock check,
Interesting.
Maury Travis was hanging from the window.
Interesting.
Now, how he did it, only the Lord knows. So let me tell you what, let me set the scene up. They opened the gate. He went out for 15 minutes. He stretched. He did everything he needed to do. The rest of them 45 minutes, he sat in there and penned a suicide note to his mama. Whole suicide note. I'm only talking to my mama. Fuck everybody else. I don't care about nobody else. So then, oh my God, he's dead. All the things start to happen. He took his bed sheets and put his bed sheet around his neck. He cut the pillowcase and put that in his nose. He had some rope. He was biting on that. And they say, they being the police, somehow in this attempt to hang himself, he also tied his own hands behind his back.
Okay. He's David Blaine.
He tied his own hands behind his back. He tied his own hands behind his back, put a noose around his neck, put stuff in his nose, and bit down on his own. So he did all it in 45 minutes. That's what they said.
Mhm.
Now,
And hung himself.
and hung himself.
All right.
Now, the police said they went in there. That's what it was. They got like, I don't even know what you would call this. Somebody that forensically does suicides. Like, could this have happened? And the person that they got said that how he was hung, he could have done that himself in an attempt to make sure that it was quiet. So nobody would come in there and cut him down because he did not want to be in jail.
Okay, I can see that.
Because if you know what I'm saying, when you hang, your initial reaction is to grab for your neck. Like, even though you did it yourself. But if you had done sat in there and tied that a certain type of way, you could easily tie yourself up, put one arm,
Mhm.
put the other arm behind you, yank that bitch with your mouth, and now you could.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I think because of what he had done, you wrote the note. Whatever happened with the checks, maybe him and the inmate was just talking. Hey, bro, I don't want to be here. Skip the who who knows what happened.
You
But
said
the
only the
police
Lord.
said that's what happened. You wanted to commit suicide. You said you wasn't going back to jail. We're not investigating a John Rabbit ass thing. You dead. We don't have to spend all this money taking you to court. We
Mhm.
don't have to do all these tests. We don't have to do all these things. What we know for sure is you dead.
That's about accurate.
That's what we know, and that's all that matters. So it wasn't like a whole bunch of investigation into it. Now, the part of it that's just kind of like, that's kind of fucked up. Apparently, his mama found out at the same time that the rest of the world found out on the nightly news that Wednesday at 8 o'clock.
Listen,
Did nobody call her? Did nobody give her no warning? She found out with everybody else.
we respect the loyalty to your son and keeping to yourself, but you also got to hold it down in respect when you find out like the rest of us because he was a deviant.
Yes, yes.
He was wicked. He was
Wicked.
evil.
Wicked.
You're just too wicked.
And in that, even before we get there, the police said good riddance. Like, when they asked him, "Do you think that's what happened?" The police said good riddance. That's what they said. That's what we gonna go with. Like, He was not mincing words. And usually I would have a problem with that. But in this case, I feel like if you would have fed into it and tried to give more answers, it really would have made the situation worse than what it was. He don't deserve Maury Travis don't deserve nothing. If y'all was gonna talk about anything, talk about them women that y'all was finding in a lot.
Mhm.
That's the only people that should have been getting talked about in this particular situation. Now, that suicide note that he penned to his mama, he told her that she was the best mama that a man could ever have. And he apologized to her for being sick in the head. And he said he never felt normal or happy at any time in his life. He said, I think about my life and what has led up to this, and it seems that the best solution for all involved, especially me, because I won't spend the rest of my life locked up, or worse, let them kill me with that needle. End quote. I think him putting in that letter, especially me, to the death of him, he was gonna be a fucking psychopath. Cause who what fuck boy, you I can respect people who do this shit and when they get caught, they say, yeah, that's what I do. And they go to court and don't say nothing and take their shit on the chin.
Mhm.
You did all this, it was gonna be a you gonna say the easy way out?
Yep.
You's a punk.
Every time.
You's a punk. You's a punk. You's a punk. Your mama raised a punk. That's why your daddy left, because you was a punk ass nigga.
Ooh. Ooh.
You, especially me, they gonna give me the needle. You strangling these ladies with ligatures and belts, and you scared of a needle?
And running them over,
You
driving over them. Don't
you
forget.
hit this lady with a car. I don't know nothing about no punk ass Elantra, but I'm sure it weighed at least 10 tons, 1 ton, some tons. I'm sure.
Enough.
And you scared of a knee. You think that your life matter, nigga? It don't. Certain lives don't matter. And Maury Travis' life did not matter. I,
Once
I,
she made the decision to take others.
yeah, yeah. At this point where he was at,
Yes.
right up there with making me agree with a man. You make me agree with a police officer.
Mm.
You got me out here agreeing with the federales. That's not what I want for myself. But in this case, I agree. That man did no wrong. I hope that night when he said good riddance, he went home and put his head on a nice pillow and slept very good.
Mhm. 1,000 thread count. I hope.
And as for Maury Travis' mama finding out when everybody else found out, I'm almost positive. This is it. I couldn't find this in none of my research. She did not find out what her son was doing when the police found out. I know she didn't.
What you mean?
I think she knew.
Oh, yeah.
So if you knew, you don't get the I don't want to say decency. Decency isn't the word. You don't get the respect of a phone call. Your son took that away when he was letting them women be outside long enough that they decomposed.
That's fair.
Listen,
That's fair. You gotta hold it
listen,
down.
listen.
You gotta hold it
I
down.
can see if it was just a misunderstanding why your son was in jail, but nah, boy, nah, boy. Because old Maury decided to check himself out and decided to not give us a black docket. Today we're gonna try something new. We're gonna put this all in a court of public opinion. So let me build it for you. The year 2014, Katrina McGraw was at her house at 1001 Ford Drive
Okay.
when she was watching a documentary on serial killers that her cousin told her to watch.
Okay.
She's sitting down, she got her snacks ready. She's in the mode, right?
Mhm.
Her house flashed upon the screen. Now, Kendall, I know that you are new to the true crime world. Thank you for joining us. But those early documentaries, there was no fucking rented Airbnb house. He did this at 130 1001 4 Ave. They was recording at 1004 Ave. It was no
Mm.
get a
Okay.
house that looked like it. So she's sitting there watching this. She look and it's her fucking house on the documentary as they go to tell what he did. The day when I was doing my research and I kept trying to search for it and I couldn't find it and they wanted me to pay for it,
Mhm.
that's what she was watching.
Ah, okay.
She immediately picks up the phone and call her landlord. Who you think her landlord was?
I don't know who was her landlord.
Sonya Travis.
Mm.
Now remember, she had that housing portfolio, so she said,
Mm.
"Fuck it, he killed himself. Don't put the deed in my name." I would assume, right? So Katrina get her on the phone. She's like, "Look, I don't want to stay here anymore. I don't feel safe. I don't want to be here. I understand you cleaned it up and everything. It was 10 years ago. I don't want to be here.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so. Now, Sonya did not do anything illegal because apparently in Missouri, you don't have to disclose murders, deaths, suicides. You don't have to disclose that to a tenant.
Mhm.
Now, morally, I think you should say, hey, look, this is what happened. Especially if it's going to be government funded housing. Katrina was using some type of assistance to pay for her rent.
Mhm.
So once she got Sonya on the phone and Sonya was like, no, I'm not breaking no list, this, that, and the third, Katrina said, bet that up. She called her case manager. Hello, this is what happened. This is what I found out. I don't want to do this. I don't want to live here. So the government was able to help Katrina get up out that lease because Sonya was trying to fight her tooth and nail. Had she been paying regular rent, that lady would have made her do them whole
Most
12 months
definitely.
or
Yeah,
fucked her credit up. That's sleazy.
it is.
That's sleazy.
Very sleazy. But business is sleazy.
You want to be so tight-lipped that you got people living in your son's burial camp? Sleazy.
Maybe that's why she was staying tight-lipped.
Maybe that's why she was staying tight-lipped.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna ask you, Kendall, and I'm also gonna ask anybody that listens. So if you got this far in the episode, this question is for you. Hit the socials, hit the comment section on Spotify. Tell me what you think. So because we don't have a jury, we're gonna be the jury. We're gonna do it.
Okay.
Do you think she committed a crime? If the answer is yes, what do you think her sentence should be? And if your answer is no, why not? And then I'm gonna give you mine.
Lasagna?
Mhm.
No, she didn't commit a crime because it's not illegal.
Morally, not a legal crime. This is court of public opinion. So in your opinion,
Morally, yes,
okay,
she did. She should have disclosed what happened, and she knows exactly why she didn't because she wouldn't have been able to rent that spot out.
hello. So if we had to sentence her, what would you say her sentence should be?
Mm, I'm gonna give a 2 to 3.
Years?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. I
one
can
to
take
one to
that.
three. We get a 1 to 3.
Okay. I'm gonna say yes, she is most definitely guilty of a crime. And I'm gonna say she needs to do five. And I
Ooh,
want all five
ooh.
of them done. Because you was being deceptive on two ends. If you knew he did that, you probably didn't clear it with the home people.
Mhm.
The state that when you put it up for whatever assistance, you probably didn't say my son was a serial killer, killing women in the basement. So then you get a tenant. I don't know what type of tenant she was, but what I do know is her rent was paid on time because the government was paying it. So what you didn't want to do, you just like your son, you was more
Mhm.
important than everybody else.
Okay.
Your son made that decision for 1001 Ford Drive. If nobody ever deems to stay in that bitch ever again, you got to take that up with your dead son.
True.
But you cannot hold somebody to a lease because of what your son did. You don't have to talk about it, but as long as she is alive, you got to carry that because you the mama.
It's true.
5 years, hard time,
Jeez.
no parole.
Okay. Okay. I'm definitely doing 1 to 3. She doing all 1 to 3.
Yeah, like you ain't no getting out early. Ain't no good behavior.
Definitely no
Nah,
parole.
nah.
Depending on the behavior while she is incarcerated, will determine any post release
Fair,
programs.
fair. So y'all heard my sentence. Y'all heard Kendall's sentence. Y'all tell me what y'all think Sonya should be. If y'all feel like morally she committed a crime, did she commit a moral crime against humanity? Question mark.
Of humanity.
No, this is against humanity for sure. For sure. That lady could have had kids down there playing in that basement where it done been blood all on the walls, on the pole, on the.
Mhm.
I mean, but I guess you never know where you lived and what happened. Because it was just so grotesque. I feel like she should have leveled that bitch and built something new.
Man,
That's
I
easier
don't.
said than done though.
Yeah, yeah.
That's easier said than done.
She got to She got to sage that joint. Palo Santo. She need to sit down and apologize.
When Maury Travis finally made headlines, his victims got one cruel label: prostitutes. like that explained why they lived or why they died. But here's what the news didn't say. These women were failed long before Maury found them by a system that offered rehabs with wait lists as long as DMV lines, by a society that treated their addiction like a choice, not a crisis, and by all of us who look past women working corners thinking, not my problem. So, how the killer hunt for years? Simple. Nobody looked hard for disposable people. I asked earlier, why do we trash women for surviving? Look where it got us. Why do we ignore certain victims? That's how we got Maury. Breaking the cycle, it stops here. Stop judging how broken people survive. Stop asking why survival's this hard. Just scream every damn name until the world remembers. They weren't prostitutes, they were people, and they mattered. On the Black Docket, we don't do silence, we do truth. And even when it burns, especially when it burns, we will honor and respect everybody that comes across our docket every time, no matter how society looks at them.
And another thing, I feel like ever since I've been born, there have been so many unprecedented times. From 9/11 to COVID to now this man being a president and now a felon. These times need to start being precedented state. And I'm not playing. I'm putting my foot down. Start precedenting the times. I cannot keep up. I cannot keep living like this. Every single time I turn around, I'm the first to experience something. I don't want to be the first anymore. I want to be like the second or third. Like back in the day, all they had was like the bubonic plague. Okay, get over it. Every single time I go to sleep, I wake up unprecedented times. This needs to end. I literally cannot handle another unprecedented time. Get some precedent around this hoe or else.
Wow, my people, my people. Welcome, 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 welcome to unprecedented
Ooh, it's my
times.
favorite.
Unprecedented times.
Now I can really talk crazy.
Unprecedented times. All right. So I'm gonna start with today on back. I'm gonna go backwards on how I report these stories that I have wrote down and jotted down. Today at 2:58 p.m. Arizona time, Canada will recognize Palestine as a state starting in September, which means if the Jews keep bombing them, they can literally start a war because you can't do that to places that are recognized as states.
Hmm.
You can't do that. That is crimes against That's a literal crime against humanity. They got to September. So essentially what they're saying is y'all got a month to figure it out.
The day is going to come when the people collectively are going to sit down and discuss why they tend to historically
Yep.
go inland and try to take over.
Yep. So then, comma, that story, the United States has been put on a watch list. Watch list. The United States has been put on a watch list for urgent concern for civic society. They're now saying this is not a safe place to travel.
Oh,
They are now saying, like, we are on there with like Cuba,
that's fair.
Russia.
That's fair.
That's absolutely
That's
fair.
fair.
And what I think they should do, what's the soccer thing that's real big?
The World Cup.
The World Cup's supposed to be here next year. They need to cancel that shit and they need to not let the Olympics come to LA. Until they fix this shit, they for sure need to cancel that World Cup.
That's understandable.
Because a large proximity of them are going to be Latin, that is not safe for them to come here.
Yeah, and they snatched them.
That's not safe.
Ooh, yeah.
The Olympics, you got everybody coming from everywhere. In LA, where they are, like, and I don't know, 2028 is a long time from now. Who knows? But as it stands right now, this shit ain't safe. For all of my people that's listening all over the world, because I see I got some countries happening, popping off, don't come over here.
Yeah, it's really rough right now.
Do not come over here, cousin.
And please understand, yo, the black people in America do not condone what's happening.
If you're not black, by the way, I don't know what you are. Let me tell you where you are. Let me
No,
tell you who I'm talking to.
even the ones who are black, because a lot of people think we are cool with how America moves, and we don't.
Nah,
They just assume they're the citizens. Of course, they are supporting this. Yo, we
nah.
don't support this.
We don't fuck with these people.
We do not fuck with them,
We do
man,
not fuck with these people.
at all.
We got people in the Netherlands, the United Kingdom,
Okay.
Kenya,
UK.
India, Ireland, Ghana, Brazil, Australia, Germany,
Okay, those some names.
Norway, Finland, South Africa, and Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure I hit everybody. I don't want to miss
And I'm
anybody.
down to go to all those places. What's up?
Russia, Poland, Mexico, Spain, South Korea, Dominican Republic, Italy, and Jamaica.
Yeah, DR's nice.
All of my cousins that's listening to me all over the place, I'll come to y'all. Don't come over here. I'm coming to everywhere
But then
Russia.
it's also
I
rough.
can't come to Russia.
No,
Thank
we
you.
good. We good.
No,
We
no.
get good. It's us, black. We good.
Okay.
Remember-
Russia, check in. Tell us if we can come there.
Yeah. I think we good because they know the deal. They know the truth.
But yeah, like this is not a safe place right now. It's not a safe place, and I think while it's hard, us not having that international dollar is finna blow this shit up. They already not going to the hot spots. So
Mhm.
all the major city big places, they not going. Every day, your beloved fashion houses are crumbling.
Yes, they are.
They are crumbling.
The truth is coming out about everything.
They're crumbling. Like I know America likes to think that they big bro. No. So cousins, just let us know where we meeting up and we can meet up, but do not come to this place.
And tell us where the good food is at.
Definitely tell us where the good food is at. On to a little bit of sports news. Gilbert Arenas was arrested for running or operating an illegal gambling business. Of all the things that would surprise me about Gilbert Arenas, this is not one of them.
I'm just shaking my head.
This doesn't surprise me about Agent Orange. That's not his name.
You supposed to
Agent
stay,
Zero.
You supposed to stay low, man. You already got
You
one
ever met?
strike.
Not you ever met, but you ever seen Gilbert Arenas? When
you got
do you
to.
ever know this nigga to lay low?
But that's the problem. You gotta lay low, especially after you had your first strike.
What did you just say about Maury Travis? He was feeling himself. He thought he was the man.
I'm feeling myself.
Come on, Beehive.
I woke up like this.
He was feeling himself, and just like Maury Travis, he got too close to the sun, and now he's sitting in jail.
Like Icarus and what was it, his son? Daedalus. Greek mythology.
Oh, I don't know nothing about Greek mythology.
I gotta let them know that niggas know history.
Oh
shit.
yeah, I don't know nothing about them people.
Even if it's history that's below me.
You know.
You know.
So yeah, Gilbert Arenas is in the slammer. Right up next to that, Shannon Sharp was fired today by ESPN.
Shannon, come on, man. You gotta chill. Is it for that statement?
No, it's because he for the settlement with the girl. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Because I mean, me personally, I think him and Ocho's show is way better, more free than anything he can do on ESPN. So I ain't mad about that. And I also know how sports journalism work. He won't be there this season, but next season he might be back.
Yeah,
and I know that. So
let's give it a little bit of time. Let Michael Jordan settle in for NBC.
Hello?
He might be over there.
Hello?
I'm gonna start to put it on my predictions on your show.
As you should.
Kenstradamus.
As you should. I put all my predictions in Sharani text email.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Call me now for your free tarot reading.
Kind of, sort of in the sports world. Y'all know racist ass Hulk Hogan died. But fuck him.
I'm out of here, brother.
But Brooke asked to be taken out of his will. She said she don't want shit from his estate. Brooke Hogan, I will forever stand her. She stood on I don't fuck with you because you a racist and meant that. Shout out to Brooke.
Okay.
Everybody go stream Brooke and Paul Wall's song right now. That was a good song.
H-Town.
That was a good song.
Paul Wall, baby.
We're gonna take it to the other side of the world right now. Apparently over in Beijing, 30 people have been killed because they have gotten an entire year's worth of rain in 6 days.
Damn, my Asian people, man.
Yeah. And it just keeps raining. It just won't stop. So it's like, yeah, you can do something about it if you get it over 12 months. But in 6 days, it's nothing that you can do. Like it's literally flooding every
Oh, what
system
do
that
they
they
say?
got.
Like, what's the whispers? Are they saying this is actual rain or is it cloud seeding? Like, what they talking about? Are they even saying anything about that? Because
They're
this don't sound natural.
So, unlike America, the Asians believe in science. Like
Yes.
they believe in that. And they said they know what it is. It's too hot. The earth is literally too hot.
Hey, man.
It's too hot. That's why, you know what I'm saying? Use your bike, use your feet. We gonna make the train rail accessible so we can cool it down. Like that's true.
One thing that we are learning to rid us from our pompous thought process is the world will be the world and we will be gone. The
Hello?
earth will be here,
Hello?
fine.
Hello? A roach and whatever is left?
Alligators and
Hello?
we will be gone.
Okay, so as we was talking about our Russian cousins, I don't think I
Privyet.
ever spoke on this, but did I ever tell you about the family who decided to leave Texas because it was too Texas was too progressive for them.
Mm.
So they decided that they wanted to live a clean and pure life and they went to Russia.
Das Vidanya.
Got to Russia because apparently it was supposed to be some like, oh, America, come here. We'll give you jobs. We'll give you work. We'll take care of you. We believe in, I don't know what they were looking for, right? Got there. Didn't move them into shit. They had to figure out where to live. They don't speak the language. Now, mind you, they don't speak the language. They immediately threw the fucking husband in the army.
Mm.
Immediately. The wife on TikTok crying her eyes out, talking about they doing the training, they speeding through it, and they doing it in Russian. They not translating it to English. Cool, cool. They said if you go to the war, they said you're going to the war, but we're gonna like let you be in computers because that's what you did in America,
Mhm.
right? Right?
Mhm.
They put that nigga on the front line. He was there for
They
1 week and popped. He's dead. He with Maury Travis.
mm.
Out of here.
Damn.
Don't feel no sympathy for him, her. Can't talk about people, kids. I don't have no sympathy for none of them.
Russia, huh?
Russia.
Okay.
I don't give a damn what's happening in Texas. It is no Russia. You
I'll
was a
take my chances in
you was a
Texas.
fucking fool. Last night it was a tsunami off the coast of Russia. Well, is the Russian coast in Russia?
Depends on where the Russian coast is at.
I don't know. Oh no, it's yeah. A tsunami warning was issued for Alaska and Hawaii yesterday morning after an 8.7 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Russia, according to officials. So they saying it was supposed to affect Alaska, Hawaii, and also the west coast of America.
Mhm.
So San Diego was under tsunami watch yesterday.
Y'all better go watch the movies. San Andreas, The Day After Tomorrow. Y'all better go watch, tap in, and get ready.
Listen.
Hope y'all know how to fast.
Um, in other news, the first black driver won a major race, which was the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yes, sir.
His name is the Bubba Wallace.
That's right.
Shout out to Bubba Wallace. Shout out to his team. I don't know nothing about NASCAR. I just assume he got around the fastest. He got the fastest car. Shout out to Bubba.
Good assumption.
Keep beating their ass, Bubba. And obviously I watched it. I didn't know what I was watching, but I watched enough to know nobody was close to him.
Mm,
Nobody was
like
close to him.
that.
Nobody was close to him.
Damn. I know
He
them
got out
white
his
boys.
car and did it for the people. They said, how you feel, Bubba? How did you do this? He said, I don't know. I guess it was the DEI. Shout out to Bubba Wallace.
I know them white boys mad.
They are, and I'm not like
God damn it, they already took basketball.
if there's any white people listening to this, I promise I'm not like trying to be racist or nothing, but they are seeing the things that they held in such regard and regalia. They are getting their ass smoked in it. NASCAR, tennis, um, basketball been hours, football
Mhm.
been hours,
Mhm.
baseball.
What I baseball I give to the Hispanics and us, and a little bit of the Asians.
Well, when I say the people that are just African, and by us I mean African Americans. The regular black people is leading in MLB right now.
Okay.
Y'all done ran them out of goddamn tennis so good. They done created some new shit, which is
Oh,
pickleball.
pickleball, yeah.
Swimming, y'all swimming their ass under the table.
Yeah.
I know I say this all the time when it comes to sports. Once the boys that flip on them beds get into gymnastics,
Mm.
it's over with. Over with.
And the white people that listen to you, they're not bothered because they know what it is. They know the truth. If anything, they saying, "Yeah, girl,
That's true. That's true.
They ain't concerned.
That's true.
They the white people when the cops pull up, they stand in front of us and curse the cops out.
I can support that.
Yeah. Shout out to them.
Shout out to y'all. Well, we've been on this what's going on these boats as of late. I took this screenshot on Sunday. On a Royal Caribbean cruise, a cruise member stabbed another crew member and then jumped off the fucking ship into the ocean, and obviously he killed himself. It happened near the Bahamas on the Icon of the Sea cruise ship last Thursday. They said the attack happened around 7:30 when a 35-year-old man from South Africa stabbed a woman. She was 28 and she was also from South Africa. After the attack, he jumped into the water and swam away. He was later found unresponsive and declared dead by medical staff on board. The woman he attacked had numerous stab wounds to her upper body and she was in stable condition.
So she survived.
She survived. Stop taking your ass on these boats. This is crazy. Like, and I think it's like when the planes was falling out the sky at the beginning of the year. Shit probably always happens on cruise ships, but it at least on land you can try to get away.
You know, I say this statement and you always laugh at me, but my ancestors told me not to do that.
Yes.
But y'all be laughing and I'm not joking. I'm good. I'm already risking it by getting in a piece of metal that hurls through the cosmos to get me from one side of the country to the other.
Yes.
You want me to go on war? Do we have to have the history lesson, guys? Do
No.
we? Okay. I hope not. Come on, man. Don't make me.
And then in Colorado, it is now in the book
It's my
of law
people.
and required that all schools teach Black history.
See, I like Colorado. Shout out to Colorado. Shout out to Denver,
Yes.
Colorado Springs,
Yes.
Centennial.
Yes.
Shout out to Colorado. I like Colorado, man. A really
Yes.
good place, really great energy, good people. Besides them stinking ass cave dwelling crickets that threw they drink at me. Them boy, ooh, they so lucky. Ooh, cause if I would have had it on me, huh,
Let loose.
huh, if my tote bag would have been with me, they lucky. And I had a nice car too.
You
That was
did.
when we had the green Cadillac,
Yeah,
and they
it
gonna
was
throw
nice.
that's nasty. How they gonna throw they drink at me being racist?
This week, this in docket is going to be Tyson Walker out of Morrow, Georgia. He's been missing since July 28th, 2025. He's a black male, dark complected, 5'11", weighing 225 pounds. He was last seen on Auburn Place Drive in Morrow, Georgia. He has been diagnosed with a mood disorder, PTSD, ADHD, and depression. So if anybody around the Atlanta, Clayton County area see him, he's 14 years old. So if y'all see him around, y'all know where he at. Please reach out to the Clayton County Police Department at 770-477-3747.
Say his name again.
Tyson Walker.
Tyson Walker. Okay.
Some unfortunate news. Yesterday, Equasia Vaughn's family informed everybody that they did end up finding her body. So she is
Damn.
unfortunately no longer with us. So prayers to Equasia's family,
Damn,
prayers to everybody involved. May her soul rest in peace. May she find eternal happiness. And this week's listener of the week is going to be Deconstruction Lady 2024 over on Instagram. She left a comment on the videos that I did about Brian Nichols. And she said, I love your podcast. It's so informative. You are a great storyteller. So, Deconstruction Lady 2024, thank you, thank you, thank you for taking time to rock with me. Also, you guys, I will be posting the videos everywhere. So, on all the socials, I posted on TikTok, I posted on Instagram. I posted on Facebook just a quick little 10-minute rundown of what we talked about on the episode. So tell me, if you're watching them, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, tell me what I can add. I am always here. I am kind of open to feedback. Just make sure you're nice. Don't be rude. Don't be mean.
Keep it demure.
Keep it demure, because you know what I'm saying? So as long as it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I believe in that. That's one of the founding principles we're gonna have at the docket. You can say whatever, just make sure you say it with respect. Justice doesn't clock out, and neither do we. So if this episode got you fired up, that's the point. Now don't just sit with it, talk about it, argue about it, obsess over it. Hit me up on Instagram at the Black Docket, Facebook at the Black Docket Crime Chronicles, or drop me a line at the Black Docket CC at gmail.com. Got a lead? Got a case? A whisper you think I should drag out into the daylight? Slide in my way. And remember, whether you're binge listening, side eyeing your own jury duty, or lurking in the comments, this docket belongs to you too. Until next week, stay curious, stay bold, and always remember, the truth doesn't whisper, it kicks the damn door in. This is the Black Docket, and we're signing out.
All rise. We are now on the Black